Good evening, friends. We are here for our third session of BFSI study group for 25-26. And thanks Manoj Bhai, thanks Santosh Bhai, Manish Bhai is on the way. Virat, thank you, all of you participants. We are going to have a vibrant session. We request all of you to spread this BFSI awareness about the membership of the study group. We are also having particular one meeting also they have done for us, so that whichever topic is good, one of your CA colleague or anyone wants to join, they can come and join. So this is what we want to do it in by way of BFSI is a vast subject, and we can cover a lot of topics, and we all are a senior in industries and are in practice, so we all know about day-to-day course, but sometimes there are some regulations, some changes which happens very fast. So in that particular sense, we need to have such kind of a study group meeting whereby we can have an elaborate discussion with the eminent speakers and panel person who knows about that subject very well. So our intention is that we want to have a knowledge base, and of course, networking and friendship and fellowship is always there. It's our part and parcel of this networking group. We all have completed more than 15 years in the our profession, so we know about the lot of things in detail. But still, we are all learners. We have to learn. That is our process, and as a chartered accountant, I think we are privileged among all the other professional people that we can understand and we can have knowledge of all the kinds of fields in the profession around in the world. As we say that today the AI session is going on at Pune, we are way ahead in all those respects. So I think we will have a very good knowledge base work. Manoj Bhai has initiated this BFSI study group in 17-18, and then at that time we have been going for a new transition
Much earlier,
much
12,
earlier,
Yeah,
much
yeah,
earlier.
2012,
yeah.
So
13
that
years,
that that
14
is what
years.
important is, and now we are all matured. A lot of chartered accountants are in a big professional role in the companies and in their own profession also, and a lot of startups has come which has been founded by one of them is here with us, Virat Bhai. So they all, I think, is doing wonderful work, and we can learn a lot. We in a day-to-day work, I think we don't have much of the time to study, go through, or to have a gist, and a lot of things are changing very fast, so it is not easy to adapt very fast. So with this my opening remarks, I think we'll go ahead. First I request Santosh Bhai's introduction by Manoj Bhai, please.
Good afternoon, friends. It's my pleasure uh, to be with all of you. I would go by a very, very clear agenda. We are very well known for roundtables on financial markets, banking, financial, insurance, capital markets, which are tracked worldwide by all the chapters and all the regions. And deep studies are done. And these are open house roundtable. Members have the open opportunity to discuss. Like today, there are two topics on the agenda. Santosh Amalar, he is going to, as a member of the study group for a long time, topic is interactive roundtable on financial reporting and regulatory updates. Now, regulatory, we deal with about all the regulators, India and worldwide. That includes your RBI, SEBI, NFRA, ICI,
IRDA.
MCA, IRDA, all. And worldwide, if there are global companies, IFRS or US GAAP, this is there. And it's an open house. Practical issues are discussed. Now there's a 1 hour of time for this session. 20 minutes are open house. Any issue, you are a banker from ICICI experience, you are from HDFC, no? Many are tracking many things. Whether RBI, whether SEBI, whether NFRA, audit issues, accounting, open house, he would answer. He would, and anybody can add and supplement very, very clearly. So the topic on your RBI circulars, your SEBI orders in respect of the items which has been selected. would be discussed, and then we have a second session which will be on capital markets, where also the latest SEBI order would be discussed on trading futures, etc., related to technical. So the time starts now. 1 hour. We would hear everything on RBI circulars, SEBI orders, or NFRA's issues, and then feel free. All the issues will be addressed in this session or in the subsequent sessions. Any topic also we want. There's a team, and
we will be in touch with
we have
anything which will left out. Of course, disturb him
now
by whatever the means of the professional guidance that he can
formally.
give us.
Can I request our colleague Mayur Seth? Can you introduce Santosh?
So it's a pleasure to.
You have this biodata, and
keep it brief.
yes.
No, please.
Please. And there are updates. He's the author. He's the author of many books on financial reporting and tracks issues very actively at the highest level.
Yeah, so it's a pleasure to introduce my dear friend Santosh. So he has besides being a merit holder in the CA examination, he has extensive experience of more than 2 decades, and he has worked in big fours like EY and Deloitte, and again within that also he has worked in technical teams. So it's a hardcore financial accounting advisory job where he is doing a lot of expertise. Within that firm also he had a limited stint in London also, where he was a part of IFRS standard accounting standard board, where he has contributed over there also. In India also he has been appointed as a QIT in many of the institute boards, which is accounting standard boards, ESU committee, and he is also a visiting faculty in a government law school. Yeah, so with this brief discussion, this like introduction, I will hand it over to Santosh.
Thank you very much.
Before this, just a token of love from the part of our own study group.
Thank you.
Mayur, please you join also. Virat will take a great photo.
Group में डाल देना.
Yes.
Virat, come na.
Valerian, join.
Thank you.
It's all yours.
So,
Thank you to Rajesh sir first on behalf of all the participants, the convener, and thank you to Manoj sir as well.
Yeah,
That's okay. Okay.
Convener.
Thanks.
Correct.
No. It's a wrong thing. I was never the convener. We always put the bankers ahead. And the first convener today is the director of JM Financial.
Great. So that's what.
So founder and a mentor.
Wonderful
Bless it.
professional faculties and professional people, and very good positions and very good in the industry on their own. They are doing very good. So this is how the knowledge imparts and give a rising professional academic side. What we believe.
so very good afternoon, everyone.
Very good
And
afternoon.
first of all, thank you for the opportunity, Rajesh ji, Manoj ji, and thanks for the introduction. So basically, as the topic suggests, and basically as Manoj ji also laid down the tone for the session, what I've done is for this session, I've put together certain key RBI circulars and IRDA regulations since the last few months. What we can do, and as Manoj ji also mentioned, that we will go through this, we'll keep it interactive, and I'm sure you will also have some inputs and perspectives on these circulars. So with that, let me start. So I'll start with the Reserve Bank's Monetary Policy Committee update that was held last month in June 2025, where they adopted a pro-growth approach, reducing the policy repo rate by 50 basis points from 6% to 5.5%. The implications of this is, as far as banks are concerned, they are compelled to keep their interest rates in sync with the repo rate. NBFCs do not necessarily have to follow that, but generally they have to. So they have to be in the market. So therefore, they also have to do correction in their interest rates. The RBI also revised its inflation forecasts for 25-26 to 3.7%, which is well within the target band. Alongside the rate cut, the cash reserve ratio was also reduced by 100 basis points in a phased manner, aimed at injecting about 2.5 lakh crores in the banking system to enhance liquidity. So again, this is something which is a positive thing to give a boost to the industry. The policy stance was shifted from accommodate to neutral, indicating more data-driven and responsive framework. So, in this is amidst the global uncertainties and slowing international trade. So, this is something which is extract from the MPC committee minutes, which I have pulled up. That the India's real GDP growth for FY 24-25 stood strong at 6.5%. So, while most of the larger economies around the world are struggling, the next best performing large economy is in the range of I think 3 to 3.5%. So in that background, ours is a pretty strong growth story, despite of the geopolitical uncertainty that we all know surrounds since last few months. On regulations, although this is not necessarily a new regulation, this July 2024 RBI Master Direction on Fraud Risk Management. This is what, at least in my circle, in my clientele, has been very widely discussed and extensively discussed in the boardrooms as well as in many other fronts. So last year, July, RBI took a comprehensive, master directive on fraud risk management in banks, NBFCs, all the middle layer NBFCs, as well as upper layer and top layer, as well as base layer NBFCs with the asset size of 500 crores plus. So typically base layer is anything which is less than 1,000 crores, but they have also extended this master directive to base layer NBFCs with asset size of 500 crore plus. So basically, it is a fairly comprehensive master direction, which holistically looks and requires the regulated entities, be it banks, ARCs, NBFCs, cooperative banks, etc., to look at how do they address the fraud risk. Because as we know, every day, almost, we see in Eco Times or in business newspapers that so and so bank there was a online fraud of so many crores, so many lakhs, etc., right? So the vulnerability and the susceptibility is highly there, and we know that in the modern day it will not be a conventional war. There can be a cyber attack also from certain corners. So therefore this is an important thing. So first and foremost, it lays down the governance structure that a regulated entity must establish. So it says that there should be a dedicated fraud risk management committee at a board level. So the fraud risk has to be addressed at no less than board level. So gone are the days that there would be a certain team within the overall banking or NBFC structure, and it will be a small team, which is so there is a fair deal of seniority and importance which has been given now by RBI. There has to be a chief of fraud monitoring. We know that in regulated entities like banks and NBFCs, certain positions are regulatory positions, like you will have the CRO, the CFO, etc. So in the similar manner, there should be a chief of fraud monitoring that will be overseeing the fraud risk across the banks and NBFCs. So as far as banks are concerned, they are required to follow a more structured approach to govern the fraud risk management as compared to the erstwhile requirement, where responsibility for fraud risk management was assigned towards the bank's CEO, audit committee, and special committee on board. As far as the NBFCs are concerned, they need to, RBI has imposed governance requirements on NBFCs, including the housing finance companies for the first time. So again, this is a very onerous thing from the bank's, board committee, where they have to be answerable. They have been made responsible for any fraud risk management comprehensively. There ought to be a board approved policy on fraud risk management that should ensure compliance with the principles of natural justice in a time bound manner. Again, this is a very important. Couple of slides later, I'll tell you certain timelines which have been prescribed to escalate matters. Okay, if there is any red flag, any account which has been identified as a red flag, then there is within 180 days, it has to be reported to Reserve Bank. So even if fraud is not established, but it is a red flag, that is, it's still not a fraud, but we are looking at it closely, monitoring it. It has to be within 180 days if it's not established as a fraud. Because as you know, in India, fraud is a very legal matter, right? It has to, whether it's a fraud, whether the intent is to defraud someone, can be a long court battle. And we know that even cases which are relatively straightforward, it takes a decades time at least in our courts to establish that fraud or foreign fraudulent intention was there. So there is a time bound aspect which has also been introduced by the Reserve Bank. Stipulated the time period within which the following activities should be undertaken to uphold the principles of natural justice. So the show cause notice. So wherever frauds have been identified, there should be a show cause notice on the borrower. So that process has been very clearly laid down. So we know in the past that, because of the susceptibility of the banking system and red tapeism, call it corruption or whatever, there has been, we have seen in many milestone cases that within the bank, identification of a account as a fraud account or as a willful defaulter has taken its own time. And sometimes we know that there can be political intervention also. Reasonable time of at least 21 days to revert to show cause notice and process of issuance and examination of show cause notice.
All the frauds which are right now also
Specifically about the Reliance which right now
Yes,
happened.
yes.
So
I think
how
couple of
you-
weeks back,
Yeah, so
Bank of Baroda,
so they have
declared
they
it
are
as a
big
fraud.
defaulters. The State Bank of India also because
Yes.
major account.
9 banks reported it as a fraud.
but at
how-
different points in time. So that's, I think, one of the issues which this circular master direction has tried to address, that even in recent times, we have seen disparity in the points in time at which different banks for the same account, they have declared it as fraud or willful defaulters, etc. And therefore, they are trying to harmonize this so that even if one bank declares a company or an individual as a fraud or a willful defaulter, it, on a systemic basis, it gets captured and it gets highlighted to the system. Yes.
So I was just thinking like whether it's applicable prospectively or become retrospectively.
It-
Some fraud cases which are outstanding, maybe some code, something like maybe I just giving a case example of ICICI Bank, where one branch manager has transferred 5 crore from a single to his own account. Probably that code, that may not have been resolved till now. So that will be one of the.
So, Mayur, the way this is, so again, we'll see later slides also, but it lays down first as a governance what structure has to be done. Okay, so as far as the governance aspect is concerned, it's all prospective. But for the outstanding fraud, instances, that will be based on whatever earlier it had happened. So effectively, it is prospectively, but somewhere in the master directions, it also says that whatever laundry list of fraud cases have been identified, the fraud risk management committee needs to have on a periodical basis. I think it calls for quarterly review of that.
Review of the-
And on that basis, report to the board ke kya ho raha hai har ek case mein. So that status update has to happen. So from that perspective, all those earlier cases will also have to be reviewed and subjected to this process.
Because cases are already going on in the bank, so they know what are the things which is going on right now in that particular cases.
Plus, a lot of focus is now on early detection framework. That is EW, early warning signals. So, in all the cases, ranging from Satyam or, the Deepak Kochar or Chanda, all these things, the learnings was that the the banking system catches up later, right? So once everything is done and dusted, money has been laundered or whatever, and then people wake up to the scenario. So here, this master direction lays down a lot of focus on early warning signals. That being a banker, the essence of being a banker is that you can see the trend, right? The credit worthiness of the borrower. So why should you wait for the actual, the murder to happen? You have enough red flags, be it by way of whatever reporting, whatever reports you call for, etc., to identify that something is wrong with this company. So there is an introduction of early warning signals and red flagged accounts, EWS and RFA, mandatory independent confirmation from third party service providers for flagged accounts. So there is a requirement that you need to have independent review, call it a forensic review or a investigation, whatever you like, but an independent confirmation from an independent third party service provider for all the flagged accounts to establish whether, so they are like, neon flagged. So this is something which is kuch to hai isme. This is something which is highly susceptible to a fraud risk. Banks to complete the process of either classifying an account as a fraud account or removing the status of RFA within 180 days. So within 6 months, once you have identified an account as an RFA, that is red flagged account, within 6 months you have to dispose of the case. That is, either you establish that it's a fraud account, or you upgrade that guy saying that this is no more an RFA. It was a kind of a skirmish के ये ठीक account है, सिर्फ temporary कुछ उसका problem था.
Plus SMA 1 में गया, SMA 2 में गया, maybe security are lesser or under overvalued.
Correct. It's a temporary kind of a cash flow kind of a scenario.
NBFCs,
Yes. Yes.
Fake stories and provided basis that they had disbursed.
Yes.
Have they defined a red flag, Santosh? What is red flag? Because
that is up to the committee to identify. RBI has not given a kind of a prescribed guidelines, but the committee has to identify that these are the
ज्यादातर जो SMA 2 में जा रहा है या सिक्योरिटी का प्रॉब्लम, और इन्होंने बोला गोल्ड में मतलब वो बराबर है नहीं,
organization, I think red flag also should be
एक्चुअल गोल्ड दिया है कि कुछ वैसे ही
institute should also come. What should be the ideal red flag?
True.
That is because there is again a gray area. I agree. What you're saying is absolutely, at least it's a early warning signal that has been given, but how on ground reality?
Somewhere in the master direction, there is also a point that whatever learnings from the earlier fraud is established, this committee has to update this policy, its procedures towards that. So, for example, if like he mentioned, if there is a risk of fake gold, which is a very common kind of a thing, then that has to be a focus area as a process. It should not be that next time also you err on this. So then principles of natural justice should be strictly adhered to before declaring and classifying a borrower account as fraud. So it says that you should give a sound, a good opportunity to be heard to the person. Cases that remain in red flag status beyond 180 days would be reported to and be subject to supervisory review by Reserve Bank.
Here we are talking about the account, but what about when the employee himself has done the fraud for the bank? It's like I'm just taking again a case.
That is also dealt with. So even within the system, if there is some kind of wrongdoing is established, then there has to be a policy how to deal with that particular thing.
So that will also done by this.
Yes, they have comprehensively dealt with that aspect also. That if there is let's say a DSA fraud or an employee fraud, then how it has to be. So again, that has to be escalated, and basis your policy, it has to be dealt with. So even the process, there is a time-bound process for filing the FIR also if it's beyond 1 crore against the person. So it is no more on the basis of discretion of the management. So if it is exceeding, I think it's 1 crore only, then in that case, bank ko FIR karna hi hai. There is no option, there is no, discretion which has been permitted.
But if I a little bit more extending it, like whether this kind of fraud will also cover a kind of fraud which is like in a gray area considered as an accounting fraud. Like I'm just taking a case of IndusInd Bank, which is probably still not clear what
Whether it's a fraud, yeah.
it's a fraud or it's like accounting.
It will, in my view. Fraud risk is not just, it's not just restricted to scenario where the borrowers have committed fraud. It's the entire gamut of fraud, be it accounting fraud, even if it's, a small burglary from a bank account or a ATM, that also would get covered as a fraud risk in terms of RBI. Reporting and classification, there are clear timelines for reporting of frauds to Reserve Bank and law enforcement agencies. Banks need to set up systems and procedures to ensure that the information available in the central fraud registry is used for credit risk and fraud risk management effectively. Banks to report payment systems related to related disputed, suspected or attempted fraudulent transaction to central payments fraud information registry. That is, so centrally this is a registry which is maintained by the Reserve Bank, that whenever there is a payment, so the other part is the fraud which happens online, right? So there is payment and it goes to China or whatever. So that aspect is again centrally being, maintained by a Reserve Bank. So whatever processing related fraud gets identified and detected by the bank, that has to be reported to the RBI in that particular registry. Staff accounting, here you go. Staff accountability and penal measures. So guidelines have been, guidelines need to be set for fixing staff accountability in fraud case. In fact, the directives lays down that if there is a borrower fraud, then the committee, the fraud monitoring committee needs to actually be, it needs to challenge itself that why the staff was not involved. They have to have a proper evidence that there is no fraud that is done by the employee before actually just, calling it as a purely a fraud by the borrower. So there are again penal actions that have been laid down in the directives itself against negligent employees. There are also legal and audit requirements, which are mandatory legal audit so there is a mandatory legal audit of title deeds documents for large value loans. So again, whenever there is a loan against property or, housing loans, whether the title is clear, again, that is one, you mentioned gold loans, but even one, a kind of a category of frauds is where the title documents are not clear, yet there is a lending by a bank. So again, there is for large value loans, there is a mandatory legal audit which is required. Banks should immediately report the incidents of fraud to LEA. LEAs here is law enforcement agencies subject to applicable laws. And then there are defined roles for internal and statutory auditors. So all the bank audits and NBFC audits, even the statutory auditors, the engagement letter, now there is a clause which all the NBFCs and banks insist that in case you all identify any frauds, सिर्फ कंपनी का वो जो 143(12) का प्रोसेस है वो ही मत करो, you have to report this to RBI also.
So Santosh, here also legal, this large value is not defined, right?
I think it has been large value. I think is defined here.
Because I've seen one case personally, JNK Bank. I'll not name the lender. Marathi में document था अलीबाग का, they've taken and they were not aware क्या है, किसी ने legal. So these are the बड़ा case है. It's a
Santosh,
5,000
please.
crores का.
Yeah. And then there are certain special cases. So again, when it comes to treatment of fraud accounts which are sold to ARCs and or other lenders, there are certain specific aspects which have been dealt with by the master direction, as with reporting with respect to checks related fraud, theft, burglary, robbery, etc. So again, Mayur, this is an extremely comprehensive thing what they have laid down. In fact, many large banks, many large NBFCs are also still. This is the first year of implementation. So again, they are still, certain aspects is difficult to comply with. So this is, but kudos to the Reserve Bank to have thought through most of these.
They then the ARC become gold.
Yeah.
When they are purchasing IT assets.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a very high probability some of the accounts are already fraud.
Fraud.
It should be more difficult to do the business.
Yeah.
So even this is covered about a cyber fraud or any digital fraud, which is right
Yes.
now. So it's also
Any
covered
kind of
that.
Yes. Everything which gets covered as a fraud.
Right now, some Kotak Bank was banned for the purpose of they have not complied that
Yes.
legal requirement.
Payment.
No, that the digital things
payment.
was not properly been done, and there is a lot of chance
Cards.
that the data are
credit card.
See, in any case, Reserve Bank 2 years back has made IT audit compulsory. All the banks, all the large NBFCs. VAPT or vulnerable assessment, testing, etc., is mandatory. That is absolutely there.
cyber security is one big problem. Which is,
Absolutely,
the data
absolutely.
can be accessed by anyone.
No, absolutely. Why? I mean, apart from banking system, even the national securities, AIMS data got,
This
compromised.
reporting
right?
of fraud is whose accountability? Is it the board's accountability?
Yes.
Is it the chairman's accountability? Is it some committee?
So there are two
responsibility?
levels now. Post this master directive, it's the board's responsibility. Reporting to Reserve Bank is the responsibility of the chief compliance officer. So within 14 days, there is a form FRM1 that has to be filed with the RBI, which has certain details. It's a online form of not just the new frauds, but whatever outstanding frauds. What's the status? What's the amount involved? What is the process being carried out by the company? What endeavor has been done? So those reporting is, it was always there, but earlier also. This has further reduced the timelines. Earlier it was, I think, 30 days. Now they have reduced it to 14 days. And also in the financial statements. So if you look at the financial statements of banks and NBFCs, there is a RBI requires the fraud cases to be disclosed in the notes to account.
So board's responsibility is what? You said it's a board's responsibility to report the frauds.
Yes.
To the RBI.
Boards. Now, RBI
Board has to ensure that whatever regulations require, whatever reporting is required is ensured.
it is ensured.
it's
Overall,
ensured.
it's a board's responsibility.
But if there is a delay in the filing or if there's a non-filing to RBI catches hold of, like in all other cases,
The officer.
compliance officer.
Fine. Ultimately, the boards is responsible.
Like
If
how-
the chief compliance
Like how
officer is not
SEBI
doing.
catches,
Yeah.
so like if आपका आज board results है, right? Board meeting हो गया, let's say 2 बजे. आपने अगर वो फैक्स नहीं किया बोर्ड एक्सचेंज स्टॉक एक्सचेंज को, तो within 15 minutes the chief compliance officer, generally the company secretary,
yes.
will get a mail and
Yeah.
now they also call up कि
Yes.
क्या हुआ आपका हो
They
गया
call
अभी
up
तक आया
also.
नहीं,
Okay.
नहीं ठीक है मशीन नहीं चल रहा है, अरे किया मगर आपको, so that so compliance officer
So
has
if
to-
it is falsification of accounts, where the board is involved, and falsification of accounts, there is a reason for that, because there are many ESOPs in many cases. So quarterly results also matter quite a lot.
right.
The prices change immediately post result. And falsification of accounts, where you have also formerly IPC 477A is a IPC, it's a non-bailable this thing offense. So, and now to RBI, this FRM1 is formed, in which they say also what is a fraud, FIR, etc., etc. But now, particularly where it is a case of falsification accounts, it is not a theft of a gold or a burglary, which keeps on happening in 94% of the cases. Corporates, it is known for frauds
Falsification
are
is, I
opening.
think, the underreporting of the, I think,
So-
the NPA accounts or fraud
No, no, no,
account,
not
loss
NPA,
account.
falsification of profits. Huh?
It can be anything.
Yes,
Correct.
I
yeah,
think
effectively.
related to that only.
It's a worldwide phenomenon.
Mostly that.
It's a, and it is driven by the board and the KMPs who are incentivized by a fluctuation in profits. So in that case, what is liability and who is accountable? Who needs to monitor, and what is accountability of the audit committee on which there are lots of expectations of stakeholders?
Here I have a like.
I want to. You can add.
No, no, you can.
Yes.
I just
While I ponder
It is
over.
very difficult to identify whether the falsification of account is actually for tantamount to a fraud, because I'm just taking the day before yesterday, Axis Bank is there.
Yes.
They are showing it across the technical slippage, it's around-
True. I was going to come to that. We discussed last evening.
It was, anti-poaching. Now, whether it was actually a kind of fraud, it was a risk, or it was completely like new thing which has emerged up in this.
Correct.
So, which it's a kind of a.
So one doesn't know. Here there was impact of 2,800 crores on the balance sheet, and there was an impact of 800 odd crores on the PNL, and it has happened because of provisioning. And there is a view now. The June quarter, the net profit is down. Top line is up, NI is up by 1%, but profit is down. This means this is coming to a CFO who was discussing with me today morning. We discussed at length. Immediately we discussed lots of things are happening in excess. So March accounts, that means were not correct. That's a view.
So all board has
That's a
resigned.
view.
I think a lot of people has resigned from the board. Yeah, right. I think
There are,
There is
yeah, correct. Many resignations happening.
many
Axis Bank.
resignations.
Who
Yes.
resigned? The independent
The board-
directors?
board
No.
Independent directors?
Not senior people, officials.
Acha,
KMP.
KMP, so-
Not to a board member has not resigned. One board member is retiring. Yesterday, Neeraj Gambhir was appointed as ED.
Yes?
ED.
Okay,
Earlier he was not ED. He's a forex dealer actually.
okay.
He was a Nomura. He was earlier an ICICI. He has become ED, and CEO said one more ED is going, and two more are going, and they has to be replaced within 2 months.
Okay.
So this became an issue where the word was used technical impact. Technical impact is what? Immediately, our financial reporting. So technical impact.
No, technical impact can be anything. It can be even something to do with the IRAC norms,
Correct.
the RBI provisioning norms.
Yes. 90 DP
Where
day. Yes.
basically, certain things would have got missed out. Whether there is, and again, as he said, whether it's fraud or not a fraud is very difficult to establish in our system. Why? Because malified intent. Even for example, in ILNFS, it took them more than 8 to 9 years to establish a fraud hai ki nahi, and still it's under appeal. Malified
That
intent
process
is
is there.
something which
Yes.
is circumstantial.
Yes.
As you said, if there are any ESOPs which are there, and the profit is directly, it's a function of the ESOP, vesting rights, then basically there is intent can be established.
Right. I'll come to excess. You said now what happened deep down. Then they tried to explain 100 rupees this thing that had happened, but the damage has already happened. ADR markets went down by 4.5%.
Okay.
ADR markets immediately,
Okay.
because ADR is live,
Right.
but results are going on.
Right.
And then the next day, now it has come to know this has happened at the instance of RBI regulatory updates. RBI wanted them to make more provisioning because some other banks are treating that there's a RBI circular for provisioning. It's
Yes,
related to
IRAC
that.
norms, yeah.
Yes. So in that, one should have provided more. Now, if it is very good because of other issues, IndusInd Bank became a major issue with RBI and SEBI. SEBI has issued summons to a lot of people. So now they wanted more provisioning. Point is, they could have directly said We want more provisioning to be done. So that was not communicated.
No, but,
there is a
Manoj-
very thin line of fraud and the actual
No,
wrong thing is
And the other thing, I think the bigger concern is with respect to the regulatory arbitrage.
Correct.
So last year, basically, you would recollect, IFL was banned by,
yeah.
RBI for some technical issue.
Gold
Again, a
loan,
technical
gold
thing.
loan,
Gold loans,
gold loan,
correct?
correct.
And it got, the ban got lifted within a span of 5 to 6 months. So what conspired within 5 to 6 months? That
Welcome, Durgesh bhai. Or Central Council. Durgesh bhai, please join.
Welcome, sir.
Come here.
Intrude on your time, but Durgesh, welcome. A very, very deep dive discussions happening on frauds and regulatory updates. RBI, SEBI, IRDA, MCA, as we do the best study group in the country, the pioneering one, setting best benchmark. So deep dive is happening along with the details which are coming from corporates and regulators to us, deep dive. Quite a few companies we are doing, huh? There's a lot of sensitive information here presented at the board, but for benefit of our colleagues, huh? We need to know rather than coming to know from media.
About because I think BFSI practice
Chairman of BFSI
Yeah,
committee in the
long
past
time, yeah.
and financial markets.
Chairman of the Financial Market and Investor Protection Committee of ICAI. I was chairman last year also and this year.
Okay.
So the subject which you are discussing and BFSI is also part of this committee only over there. And the subject which you are discussing today, in fact, if you have seen the news of the ICAI, that ICI is going to have a research paper published on how to curb, I would say, curbing is not the right
Minimize.
not minimum.
तो होते रहने वाला है ऐसा है.
So like
How to ensure?
Let him put his own words, that's more important. Let him recollect.
बात करते करते निकल गया.
Accountability.
So how to minimize basically the frauds in the capital market. And here in this, we have already set up. It has been done by the president of the ICAI. The nominations from SEBI, MCA, then RBI, then BSE, NSE. So from everywhere, these are there. We have all the data available. जितने fraud हुए हैं अभी तक capital market में, whether it is push, pull, whatever kind of things are there. Around 12 kinds of frauds are there on these screens. So we all are discussing and we are coming out with the publications very soon. So it's going to be a great publication of the ICI where the best of the minds are involved into it, who are either doing these kind of practice. Beside this, the organizations which are involved into it, the best of the minds, including best mind as far as the insolvency
IBC is trying to market himself in IBC.
So that is also part of it. We have the people from forensic team also.
Who?
Durgesh Pandey is there and some other people who have already written books, who have done a lot of work as far as the forensics are concerned. They are part of this. So, so my humble request to all of you, since we are discussing today, if you come on a conclusion and if you can send me some of the writings and which other papers, which other articles, which other things can be
Wonderful. It will be really
can
great.
be taken care of by us, which help us to bring the best of the publications and research paper,
Okay.
which help the stakeholders at large, and
We are all stakeholders.
to the gullible investors also.
Some of us in this group has gone through over 850 pages report of GT on forensic, which RBI and SEBI is looking word to word. We have spent over 20 hours seeing clause by clause.
Fantastic.
So a deep dive. Today, SEBI has issued summons on insider trading due to fraud next week. In fact, the people spoke to me. I think some of them are CAs.
We presented that paper now on insider trading. We presented 10 years back, which was myself, Mulaji, and what?
See, Treasury head is getting 8 crore salary, and sudden change in last 2 years. He bought a 60 crore flat in Imperial Court, and his bar and cars, lavish lifestyle suddenly happened in last 2 years.
Oh,
And he has been summoned by SEBI next week, and they are being trained how to handle SEBI. Ultimately, masterminds are there, and incidentally, they are a professional.
how we can
Minimize,
preventive maintenance, how
Of course, we can have a
Yes.
preemptive. Absolutely.
can be done.
It's important,
The
yes.
ICI
Particularly, ethical sensitization is important.
How to, that is why that preventive, how to
Yes.
prevent the
Yes,
Occurrence.
occurrence of the fraud in the capital market.
yes.
So that was the word preventive.
Good. No, very good, very good. And you use the word capital market.
Over there,
No, so
can
Manoj
be
was
done.
instrumental.
How to prevent.
10 years back, same round table, we prepared a presentation on insider trading.
Ah,
After presenting it here,
Yes.
it was presented to SEBI and they
Yes.
implemented it after 10 years, which was wire transfer, with the recordings, call recordings. So Manoj has been instrumental in all this. He's 10 years ahead of the curve.
No,
Durgesh has,
Manoj
Sahil ko bulao na. Sahil ko bulao.
this particular BFSI group is heading, and since very long, and continuously driving the force. भाई सभी लोग इन्वॉल्व रहे हैं इसके अंदर, कुछ नई चीजें discuss
All
होती
such
हैं।
senior members are there.
हाँ,
senior.
yes.
So
Durgesh bhai has been a part of our BFSI think tank since when?
हाँ,
Over 20 years? You were a,
meets वगैरह करते रहते हैं
हाँ।
think tank के through. So I think he's dealing with the best of the minds, I would say, in the financial market.
and we are all practicing right now this only. So it will be they are maybe in the industry leaders or they are maybe the practicing as a.
आज भी मैं यहाँ आया था basically one group meeting which has taken place. They are coming out with a publication on NBFC, on the finance company. So far, we do not have some internal audit publication is there, but a whole publication on the NBFC, starting the certificate course on NBFC, starting the certificate course on investment banking. We already started last year. I was chairman, so certificate course on fund management with IPSA GIFT City. We have started the certificate course on capital compliance in capital market. 5 modules, all intermediaries. Five modules are there. And when SEBI has called us that we want to, therefore, these 4 kind of buckets where the intermediaries has been put, we want to have the courses for them through NISM. I had given them the whole material that these are the 5 modules available with us. It will help you out to make, and we will put our best of the faculties for this, and we can work together. So they were so happy.
It's a very good
हम
initiative.
सोच रहे हैं आपने बना के दे दिया हमारे लिए पूरा. So last year we have launched, and this year we are going to launch 2, and NBFC as well as investment, because the opportunities are there into these areas.
Correct.
More.
For CS, correct.
केवल assurance और credit के भरोसे कब तक रहेंगे? Financial market is big and a huge market. The members can do wonders.
Correct. And I think Mukesh has a very immense experience of a lot of years in banking and all. So I think capital market and banking, so that will be very useful for.
Banking में नहीं, capital market में है.
Because they are all
उनको पता नहीं है.
banking and capital market are
So
similar.
good, I think GIFT City is where next 5 years. So anybody who sets up an office, he was among the pioneers we discussed when I was teaching in wealth management. I was among the pioneer speaker in wealth management in CST incidentally.
I think we can leave that now. Let's not speak on that.
I think because the
Yes.
speaker has to leave at 5 o'clock.
So remember, sorry,
It's a great, it's a really great,
Yes.
yes.
That is why I called you.
And the right time.
Right
You
time.
came at the right time.
so whoever wish to contribute in these kind of activities of the finance, financial market and investor protection committee, feel free, write a mail to me,
Yes.
or you can write a mail at cfmip@ici.in. cfmip@ici.in. My mail ID is also very simple, Mukesh@ici.in. CFMIP, Committee for Financial Market and Investor Protection. CFMIP@ici.in.
So that session is happening or not happening, that investor awareness?
Investor awareness programs, the Ministry of Corporate Affairs has stopped.
Stop, huh?
Right now they have stopped.
So
We still have some funds which has been given to us with us, which can be used for these kind of, so we have asked, भैया आपने जो पैसा दे रखा है उसका हम यूज नहीं कर रहे करेंगे हम लोग प्रोग्राम. They are going in a different way now. Instead of doing the investor awareness programs, now IEPF में जो शेयर्स पड़े हैं, डिविडेंड पड़ा है, उसको कैसे बाहर निकालना है, उसकी अवेयरनेस क्रिएट करने के लिए they are having the workshop at various locations. So we have given them the proposal. Yes, we can have the clinics at our buildings, and we can provide the people also from our side. We take the notes from all the people, forward it, we'll get it resolved. So Chartered ICI will become a part of it, where the resolutions can be provided to the stuck investors.
That's actual good, very good initiative. The connect will be there with any shareholder.
वो हम लोग कर रहे हैं, तो हमने पूरा प्रपोजल बना के दिया है, क्या है कैसे करना है. So we are awaiting a green signal from.
Much better than a seminar. Actual help, and people have, thousands of crores in dividends and shares.
Sir, one thought is like Dubai is the one, I don't know whether it is under your review, but you are already a highest position at ICI. So just that Dubai has a open as a golden visa. So many individual and many clients also asking nowadays that whether we should shift or that kind of, because they were open with golden visa 26 lakh, 20.
No, that has been now done away with. It's not there.
Virag, I think, can we start this? Let's focus on.
So I think we'll offline we can
yes,
discuss with
yes.
you. So thank you, sir.
But great, it's really wonderful.
So
Yes.
feel free, just like to.
Would like you to be here for a part of the time. Durgesh ji, would like you to spend, Durgesh ji, would like you to spend a few minutes, see the real live issues how we are doing. Deep dive.
Yes.
That's why I brought this. Yeah. Santosh.
Yeah. So the next regulation, what I wanted to cover was with respect to RBI's lending against gold and silver collateral directives, which is again a very recent one. So the objective is to reduce the over-leveraging. The RBI has introduced a tiered LTV. LTV here is the loan-to-value ratio, caps based on the loan size. So any loan which is against gold up to 2.5 lakhs, the LTV is 85%. Anything between 2.5 lakhs to 5 lakhs is 80%, and above 5 lakh it is 75%. So this LTV, they have clarified that it should be maintained throughout the tenure of the loan. Only gold or silver jewelry, ornaments and coins that are eligible shall be eligible for loans as collateral. Lending against bullion or financial instruments like ETF or exchange traded funds is now prohibited. So while ETF investments is as liquid as holding the bullion itself, but there cannot be a loan that a NBFC or a bank grants against ETF units. All regulated entities must implement standardized valuation, assaying procedures, and clearly defined borrower communication, including disclosures in the regional languages. Again, last 2 years of RBI inspections, there was a common theme that most of the lending banks and NBFCs, the procedures around auction of gold, whatever gets collateralized, repossessed, that, it was not very, the procedures were not followed very, to the T. And certain times, because in a rising gold bullion market, many NBFCs have taken the, chance of delaying the auction, thereby getting the, better price for the loan. Agreements must include a detailed collateral information, valuation method, auction processes, and borrower right. Borrower will also receive a certificate indicating the purity, weight, and value of the pledged item. Again, Mayur, you mentioned about, the impurity of the gold, the fake gold, etc. That risk is there. But here, the borrowers will have to be issued. So the NBFC or the bank has to issue a certificate that we have verified the standard, and this is the the certificate of purity, so that later on, when there is a default, there is no issue which arises. Collateral must be returned within 7 working days. Again, this is as a result of RBI inspection, that returning of the collateral, or returning of the excess, the surplus realized from auctions of the gold, there was delay in the process, one of the RBI inspections. So now they have, built it up in the RBI lending regulations that within 7 working days, this should be returned. In default of which there is a penalty of rupees 5,000 per day. Right.
Interest cost actually.
There is a penalty. It's not an interest, it's a penalty, which is, unless it is caused by the borrower, of course. So again, this has been, this regulation has been tightened. I don't know, Mayur, since you talked about gold loans, you have any inputs or perspectives on this?
Actually, I just read from the.
Right now, so they are happy that gold
Yeah.
and silvers are increasing, so
Yeah.
at least वो पैसा recover हो
It's a
जाएगा.
comfort level, yes.
Comfort level.
LTV is going down.
Yeah.
But I was just recollect why there is stock for financial instrument, of course. ETF they had excluded and financial instrument they had excluded, but so that is like a person cannot decide whether the last kind of thing will continue.
But let us do the proper.
Last would continue, of course, but if it's a ETF, which is as good as bullion, then it is.
Because there it is mentioned like financial instrument.
So this is with respect to gold and.
Thank you, Durgesh bhai.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
We'll implement your suggestions together.
Only related to that.
Yeah, yeah.
109.
109 derivative. बोलो आप चालू करो.
Section 10 accounting standard.
In days.
Indias. Indias 109. What is hedge? What is derivative? Can you explain briefly what is accounting entries to be done?
In simple words, whatever outstanding derivative contracts that an entity or a bank holds need to be fair value, mark to market at the year end or at the end of the quarter. Whatever losses, whatever notional or unrealized losses arise on account of that need to be measured through P&L, unless you have followed a hedge accounting, which is, you have designated certain contracts and, there's a lot of, documentation requirement around it. But in simple words, you have to market to market, be it, gains or losses.
What is the frequency? Daily, weekly, mandatorily?
At each mandate, at each balance sheet date. So quarterly.
What about periodical reporting?
So the risk committee, so as a part of the bank's risk management framework, the so every bank needs to have a risk committee, right? There is a subset of the board where the all the financial risk, credit risk, market risk, interest rate risk, and all the other risks need to be assessed, evaluated. Whatever measures the company, the bank wants to take to address those risks need to be articulated. So, from a monitoring perspective, it's the risk management committee, the chief risk officer of the bank, who has to look into it. Of course, there will be a lot of inputs from the treasury desk or the derivative desk, whatever, and but it's ultimately the job of the chief risk officer and ultimately the board, because chief risk officer ultimately reports to the board. So in that sense, it's the risk function that has to monitor the outstanding derivatives, or whether there are any derivatives at all. Right? It may so happen that the risk officer is not aware that there is an outstanding.
Derivatives are there. For example, when it came all over the media, the matter went to the ICA president also. 15 lakhs crores of derivative transactions in
15
a
lakhs
top
crores.
bank. In this bank, it's everybody knows about it. SEBI is investigating it. RBI has asked for change in board. Even yesterday, it has come again the appointment of CEO, CFOs. So 15 lakh crores is a transaction during the year. So how often, like, is there a India's requirement to whether you need to account for it weekly basis, monthly basis, quarterly basis?
Every balance sheet date, it has to be.
That means every quarter, limited
Yeah.
review,
Yeah.
it needs to be marked
It does.
quarter to quarter.
Yeah.
It needs to be marked.
At least the media articles that I, stumbled upon, they said that they were not identified. Right? And all banks today need to have a core.
analyst, there is a trader and investor in capital market, has done deep research in the area of capital market and especially in technical analysis since more than 25 years. There has also developed number of strategies for algorithm trading and investing in stock market. Algorithm method involves fully automated trading and investing strategies without human interference. The computerized system monitors the live market and executes buy and sell trades automatically without any interference. It's like working in autopilot mode. There is also a consultant to number of stock brokers and high net worth individuals. The capacity as market analyst in stock, currencies, and commodities as well. He has conducted number of workshops and seminars on educating chartered accountants and professionals on the subject of technical analysis at various forums, including our ICI, Chamber of Tax Consultant, Malad Chamber of Tax Consultant, many other professional and non-professional associations. There is addressed many public meetings and mainly on impact of union budget on capital market almost every year at various professional.
But it did not come to you, no, the link.
So with this, we are very fortunate, sir. You are here to address.
Thank
you for the kind words of introduction. Thank you, Rajesh, to Manoj. Once again, just for inviting me. Capital market is always full of risk.
And this will be
स्नैक्स बैग्स भी खिलाया मुझे अच्छी बात है आपने एडवांस में ही दे दिया मुझे
Sir, if you complete then it will be good for us.
हमें रिस्क रिवॉर्ड भी मिलेगा ऐसा लग रहा है
कैपिटल मार्केट और टेक्निकल एनालिसिस then it becomes a very dangerous combination and I started this subject after I got married otherwise कोई लड़की नहीं मिलती मुझे ससुरा पूछता है क्या करता है बोलता है सट्टा करता है बोलता है नहीं यार इसके छोड़ दो इसको जाने दो I was in practice from 84 to 96. 96 I started my studies in technical analysis and I am into market from 1996 onwards. And I've been trading and investing and more in trading, less in investing. And all these years, the figure when you say doing trading in FNO, तो 91% का फिगर याद आ जाता है सभी का 91%, 91%, 91%. तो मैं सोचा कि ये टेक्निकल वाला दिखाऊंगा तो 91% जो यहाँ पे मेंबर्स है वो चले जाएंगे
नहीं 91% का कुछ फायदा हो जाएगा.
Right, so we are remaining 9%. Want to make money.
So now
Manish, the main thing.
What do you want to start with, Jane Street or
Manish, you have been doing technical analysis for this group for last 13 years.
Okay.
Now the main thing, the time is short, it's a full day subject series. Main thing is now, last 2 years, SEBI report has come, which says 93% of the people in trading are losing money. Earlier was that 7% or 10% is making money. So people say it's we have discussed is often it's a zero sum game.
Yes.
If 90% is losing, the numbers are more. Somebody is giving. Now that was last year. Anand Narayan spoke. He personally interacted with me also, and he says, "Give me a suggestion. I am coming on this report." But where is the data? Now suddenly another report has come. One more year, they implemented some margining norms. So the numbers again it is 90%, but the people 10% who make money, suddenly one name came where they made 45,000 crores and 4,000 crores just by manipulation on expiries. That whole report is there. So it's a learning thing. Now many people actually our objective is to do two things. We always discuss hedging part of it, to use derivatives for that purpose. Another thing is as Kenner mentioned option hai to kama lo. Everybody, what is the takeaway? So one can do, but abhi expiry hai, option hai, kamate hain, but you, when we discussed 2 days ago, what about GMC and monitoring bank? Yourself said, I'm seeing all this, but whether I do the transaction or not, so you just go to the toilet and come back and suddenly changes particularly on expiry days. So that issue was there. Now we know you will cover the chart.
So I think you first start.
We know you'll cover.
We want to go faster.
Bank Nifty, you'll cover HDFC Bank, but the whole angle from that option gaining, if you can cover briefly the Jane Street and then some charts and some, then we can actually take it forward depending on how much time you have. There'll be more
whatever,
people
sir,
sitting.
Manish bhai, wherever confident, I
There'll be
think.
more people sitting after that also to listen to you because practical charts होंगे.
Technical and subject, it's a very powerful subject. It's a complete code in itself. You can do trading and investment.
Wonderful. So before that,
Technical analysis.
Manish bhai, just before that you start, just come.
आ जाओ.
A token of love.
Thank you so much.
Someone can click here.
Can
Thank you for the welcome.
I have to rush somewhere. I would like to take your, attend.
It's a good pleasure to learn from you.
Thanks. So good. In touch with you.
Jane Street and some bank charts, that's the crux.
Time to how much time we have? How much time?
તમે start કરો, you go through your
If
phone.
you want, people are ready to sit.
See now, technical
You go on
analysis
a flow, whatever you want to go as.
I would like to know how many of us are first in the stock market.
All of them. ऐसा कोई बचा ही नहीं होगा.
सब स्टॉक मार्केट में है ही ना, कहीं कहीं
कहीं ना कहीं तो
कहीं टांग अड़ा के रखा है ये कहीं पर.
पोजीशन है.
हाँ, okay.
डायरेक्ट या इनडायरेक्ट. मोदी ने सबको कैपिटल मार्केट सिखा दिया. बैंक रेट.
If the person is in practice,
टेक्निकल
then
एनालिसिस में कितने लोग इंटरेस्ट लेते हैं?
कोई नहीं.
Good, good.
ऐसे मत बोलो. There is
चलिए, मुझे आपका ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा आपकी क्वेरीज का. Anyway.
मनोज है ना.
The technical analysis is just studying price behavior of any script or of any index. And when you see a chart, when you have knowledge of technical analysis, you'll be able to read the chart. Where is the market going? There are three ways market can go. One is market can go up, market can go down, and market can go sideways. Okay. So with the help of charts, you are able to find the trends of the market. With market is going up, down, or sideways. So that is the power of technical analysis, and only one data, that is the price data and volume, which is statistic, which is available. आप इंटरनेट पे जाओ, सब कुछ मिल जाएगा, पूरी दुनिया मिल जाती है. जब मैंने 96 में शुरू किया था, तो मैं गया था वो लैमिंगटन रोड के और कहीं से वो कुछ सॉफ्टवेयर लेके आया था, और एक data was so difficult to get the data on internet, but nowadays you have fantastic data. So that is very helpful. So, $1 billion question is what to buy and sell and when to buy and sell. It's very important to time the market. And generally, when you talk with mutual funds or any industrial, mutual fund की कोई आते आपके पास तो बोलते हैं nobody can time the market. That's not correct. If that was correct, then I would not have made profit for the last 25 or 30 years.
Correct.
And I am into the बदला में मैंने काम किया है, FNO में मैंने काम किया है, but fortunately I don't belong to that 91 or 93%. I belong to that 7%.
अरे वाह, very good. So that will be advantage.
Honestly, I mean, I'm not trying to boost myself, but I want to give you confidence.
Correct.
I want to give you confidence. Why am I saying that? And knowledge of technical analysis, I am sure will be in the category of winning percentage category, and will not lose money. In the last 4 years, now we have come to know about Jane Street. Everything has come up now.
Yeah.
There was, people were talking, people are making losses in FNO, but now we have understood the real reason why people are making losses. But if you have sound knowledge of technical analysis, I am sure you would lose money in the market. So that is the power of technical analysis. And technical analysis की range जो है, it is from minute trend to very large trend. So you can, do intraday trades also. You can do long-term trade. चलो 1 साल, 2 साल, 5 साल का भी आप कर सकते हो. तो ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है कि technical analysis आ गया तो trading ही करने का है. You can do investments also. So I think this, what I'm talking about doing investment, technical analysis is something which is not commonly known. Because technical analysis को ऐसा ही लगता है, am I right? ऐसा ही लगता है कि सट्टा ही करना है और कुछ नहीं, बराबर है ना? But there are some methods, which we can use for long-term investments with the help of technical analysis. So
all decisions should be based on own study and not on the basis of tips. Everybody knows now.
Correct.
टिप अभी क्या हो गया, जब पान वाला टिप देने का शुरू हो जाता है ना, तभी समझने का मार्केट है टॉप. एंड दिस हैज हैपेंड लास्ट टाइम व्हेन मार्केट वाज 26,000, तो पान वाला चालू हो गया था. तो जब पान वाले चालू हो जाते हैं ना, वो मार्केट का टॉप है. ये बुक्स में लिखा हुआ है, ये टेक्निकल एनालिसिस के, एम आई राइट? टेक्निकल एनालिसिस की आप बुक पढ़ो तो उसमें लिखा हुआ है. पान वाला का वर्ड नहीं यूज किया होगा कोई. अच्छा, मैं एकदम ऐसे ही वर्ड यूज करता हूँ. कोई
पान वाला करेक्ट है वो.
सोफिस्टिकेटेड.
आपको मेजोरिटी गुजराती मारवाड़ी पान वाले के पास
देखो, बात करने की मजा आती है जब ऐसे वर्ड्स यूज होते हैं.
करेक्ट.
गुजरात एंड ऑल राजस्थान यू सी, बट इफ यू मतलब इफ यू गो इन ट्रेन, पहले सब ट्रेन में कभी भी कोई सुबह मतलब 9:15 ऑनवर्ड्स पहला चीज भगवान का नाम नहीं, मार्केट कितना खुला और क्या पोजीशन है. So that's where what you are saying is correct.
तो ट्रेन में जाते होती है, कहीं भी पार्टी में जाते हो, गेट टुगेदर में जाते हो, ओनली स्टॉक मार्केट, ओनली मार्केट. फिर मार्केट जब गिरता है ना, तभी बोलता है, बुल से भी बात नहीं करने का मार्केट का. मार्केट का बात करेगा तो चलो तुम जाओ इधर से, यार तुम इधर आने का लायक नहीं हो, तो इधर से.
तभी इट्स अ गुड टाइम टू बाय.
So yes. So that reminds me of Warren Buffett का very famous statement that I am greedy when others are fearful. I am greedy when others are fearful, and I am fearful when others are greedy.
Correct.
So that's a very important statement. Fantastic statement. Fantastic statement. Fantastic. इसको याद रखो. I am greedy when others are fearful. I am fearful when others are greedy. Fantastic. See, Warren Buffett started to buy when World War was about to end. The last sorties were going on, and he started to buy. So that is the vision of great people like Warren Buffett. So you have vision in the market, but technical analysis will give you that vision. Yes, मैं वॉरेन बफेट नहीं हूँ, लेकिन मैं वॉरेन बफेट को कॉपी करने की कोशिश करूंगा. तो वॉरेन बफेट जब बाय करने का शुरू करेगा तो कुछ ना कुछ तो होगा. प्राइस विल स्टार्ट राइजिंग, वॉल्यूम विल स्टार्ट राइजिंग, यू विल सी समथिंग हैपनिंग इन द मार्केट. एंड देयर आर स्मार्ट पीपल हु आर अबव ऑल ऑफ अस. एंड बिग कंपनीज, वी आर नॉट बिग. हमारे पास क्या है, स्टाफ में क्या है? अगर फंडामेंटल एनालिसिस को रियली करने को जाओ तो कितना बड़ा टीम चाहिए आपको. If you want to have vision, how much data you want, how you analyze the data, data मिल जाता है. How you analyze the data and how you time the market. So it's a brilliant work. So you can be a follower of such brilliant people. So when smart people start buying, that gets reflected in technical analysis. So you may not get the top or get the bottom, लेकिन थोड़ा 2-5% ऊपर नीचे भी बहुत हो गया पैसा, बहुत पैसा हो गया, वो भी बहुत बड़ी बात है. Get little bit lower or higher from the bottom, थोड़ा हाई में बाइंग किया या टॉप में जाके थोड़ा, you'll get lot of money after that. So technical analysis will give you ideas that the market is changing, and you can enter or you can sell. Indications are there that gives you indication to sell, and you will be ahead of many of your personal class. See, here I've written, do not get slaughtered in the market like innocent lamb. मैंने वो not का word भूल गया हूँ यहाँ पे लिखने के लिए.
अच्छा,
वो मेरी गलती है. See, pink paper is Economic Times headlines. मुझे आप बताओ, कभी CNBC पे पढ़ के कभी किसी ने पैसा बनाया? मैंने तो सोचा, I have not met anybody who has made money by following CNBC or anyway. I'm talking about a business channel.
Following Z Business or NDTV.
I'm talking about a business channel. कहीं पर भी आप अगर आप इकोनॉमिक टाइम्स ही पढ़ते हो ना, वो उसमें क्यों नहीं होता है? क्यों नहीं होता है? Because market discounts future. Market discounts future. This is a very important statement I'm making. Market discounts future, whether it is fundamental analysis or technical analysis. So market discounts future का मतलब क्या होगा कि मार्केट को विजन है, तो लेट अस फॉलो द मार्केट. सो ये जो न्यूज आते हैं ना, वो तो मालूम था जिन लोगों को. फॉर एग्जांपल, बहुत बार ऐसा होता है कि कोई कंपनी आती है, दे डिक्लेयर लॉस, एंड आफ्टर द अनाउंसमेंट मार्केट प्राइसेस गो. अरे लॉस डिक्लेयर किया तो प्राइसेस क्यों बढ़ गई अभी? लेकिन अभी चार्ट देखो, कभी का गिर रहा है, वो 30-40% गिर गया है, तो अभी तो प्रॉफिट बुकिंग करेंगे ना. आपको हेडलाइन दिखा के आपका माल हम तो बाइंग करेंगे. तो यही सब स्ट्रेटेजी रहती है. वो दूसरे भी एक संजीव भसीन करके आया था,
करेक्ट,
जी न्यूज में, वही का काम था. सब
चैनल पे आता था वो.
हाँ, वो सब चैनल में आता था. वो मुझे पता नहीं, मैंने तो ये न्यूज पेपर, क्योंकि मैं चैनल पढ़ता ही नहीं हूँ.
सब चैनल.
I don't see channels. I don't see.
IFL director.
So you have your own study. I written here. Have your own study in the market. Don't depend on anybody else. No tips. See, I don't talk with market. कहीं पर भी seriously मैं market का बात नहीं करता हूँ. नहीं तो क्या लगता है सबको मालूम है पैसा लगता है और कुछ नहीं लगता है. So do your own study in the market and make your own money. उसके जितना जो मजा आती है ना उसमें, तो ये सब कोई बचाने वाले नहीं है. CNBC या कोई बचाने वाला नहीं, थिंक पेपर कोई बचाने वाला नहीं. अपने आप स्टडी करो. And market is not so difficult. Even technical analysis is not so difficult. You can easily make money of your own. It's not difficult. If you work very systematically, real bit थोड़ा बहुत common sense के ऊपर थोड़ा है, वो हम लोग का CA का डिग्री बताता है कि हम तो common sense के थोड़ा तो ऊपर है ही.
यही है 100%.
So that is enough for us to make money in the market. We should not be working like innocent lamb. वो बकरा की जैसा काम नहीं करने का. You get slaughtered in the market. So don't be innocent lamb. Okay, so technical analysis, buzzing, studying price behavior. There is a Chinese proverb which says a single picture speaks more than 1,000 words. So a chart before you will give so much of information. देखो ये चार्ट है ऐसे. अभी आप देख रहे हो यहाँ पे दिस चार्ट इज लुक सो सिंपल. ये इज निफ्टी चार्ट. लेकिन जब आप टेक्निक स्टडी करो टेक्निकल एनालिसिस की, यू विल स्टार्ट फाइंडिंग आउट. हाँ ये देखो यहाँ पे ऐसा था, so therefore it has given indication to buy. So suppose if you have a seminar, जैसे I conducted a workshop in WRC when Nihar Jambuseria was chairman.
अच्छा chairman थे.
When he was nearby was chairman, I had conducted 5-session workshop on technical analysis in Loda Auditorium, and where I covered various techniques of technical analysis. And when you study all these things, you know, start से मालूम पड़ जाएगा कि अरे यार यहाँ पे तो ये issue है. These are the
You would like to repeat that in our Ketan sir?
Yes, why not? Yes, we can. I can. I would like to work for ICI. Always like to
BFSI
work for members for ICI. Always ready to impart knowledge for our own members.
What's the platforms?
All right, so price discounts. देखिए, price discount everything and price is supreme. So price before you. आज Reliance का जो आपका जो भी भाव होगा, say for example 1500 का भाव होगा, that is the result of everything, whatever. Reliance के future projects, Reliance का whatever, see, you know, आप list बना दो, 100 points का list बना दो, price discounts everything. So price before you is real and always believe that. कभी ऐसा नहीं कहने का ये price खोटा है, ये तो इसने बढ़ा के रखा है. I don't say that. Companies like, you know, large cap company, वो mid cap और वो mid cap मतलब जो ऑपरेटर ड्रिवन रहती है, वो क्या बोली डम एंड कौन सा अभी स्टेटमेंट आया ऐसे जंप एंड डम का जो स्टेटमेंट आया है, दो स्टॉक्स वी शुड नॉट बी कंसीडरिंग. जंप एंड डम, आई थिंक पंप एंड डम
आप बोल रहे हो भाई मनीष भाई. पंप एंड डम,
ठीक है. ओके, सो not those stock. If you take stocks like, you know, top stocks that discounts everything. So price is supreme. भाव भगवान छे, बराबर छे.
भाव भगवान छे, बराबर.
ये जो जूना जो लोगों का जो बातें था ना, वो अपन बोलते थे धोती वाले लोग, धोती वाले जो रहते थे ना मार्केट में, धोती वाला काका, धोती वाला काका जो दादा सिर में जो घूमते रहते ना, उनका जो बातें हुए ना, फैंटास्टिक है. देखो मैंने अभी आपको बताया, क्योंकि मेरी ऑफिस भी राजा बहादुर मेंशन में थी, दलाल स्ट्रीट के बाजू में ही थी. और जब मैं नीचे उतरता था तो सब ये सब खड़े रहते थे. तो वहीं से मुझे इंस्पिरेशन आया कि मैं भी चला जाऊं स्टॉक मार्केट में, क्योंकि मेरी सीए की ऑफिस उधर ही थी. तो मैंने सीए की ऑफिस छोड़ दी और उधर ही चला गया फिर मैं. तो धोती वाले काके बोलते हैं ना, दूसरा एक सेगमेंट है, ऊपर लेवानू અને नीचे बेचवानू. ऊपर लेने का, नीचे बेचने का. कितना सिंपल स्टेटमेंट है, बट सी दी लॉजिक एंड स्ट्रेंथ बिहाइंड दिस स्टेटमेंट. What is that? Follow the trend.
Trend is my friend.
Yes, trend is my friend. ऊपर लेने का मतलब you are following the trend. You will never go wrong. And नीचे बेचने का.
नीचे जा रहा था बेचने.
नीचे गया, हाँ. तो
लॉस होगा ना ऊपर मिलने का नीचे.
तो ये उल्टा, ये कभी हम लोग उल्टा कर डालते हैं. तो क्या होता है कि नीचे में कभी like catching a falling knife.
No.
So that is what is, you know, some very important things which are very simple words, but they have very deep meaning. So technical analysis, price covers everything. Price covers macro and micro. What are micro factors? International, what is going on, world economy, Indian economy. Micro में the product of the company, the competitive strength of any company, whatever you say, price discounts everything. even hope and fears, your psychological factors also in the price. Because there is one very famous statement made by Keynes. We are not concerned with what an investment is really worth, but what the market will value it under the influence of mass psychology. तो जो आइटम हमको 2000 में बाय करने को लगती है, वही आइटम 1500 में आ जाती है तो अपने को इंटरेस्ट नहीं रहता है, नहीं यार जाने दो अभी. जैसे अभी हुआ मार्केट ने 22,000 दिखाया, तो ऐसा लगता है अभी वो 1500 में रिलायंस क्या लेगा, अभी देखेंगे जरा देखेंगे. तो 2000 में लेने के लिए तैयार थे, लेकिन 1500 में बाय करने की तैयार नहीं है. तो वो केन्स का स्टेटमेंट है, साइकोलॉजी. So the psychological factors are also discounted by the market, which is unique with technical analysis. See, market has rhythm, and market is not a drunkard person walking on the street. It has a rhythm. So you can predict the market, where the market is going to go. देखो ये रिदम ऑफ द मार्केट, ये इतना ब्यूटीफुल चार्ट है. ये बीएसई सेंसेक्स का चार्ट है. इट इज इन द ईयर, बहुत पुराना है, मैंने 1998 देखी है. देखिए उसका जो टॉप है, आप देखिए 4548 का टॉप है, और उसका जो फर्स्ट लेवल है यहाँ, हाँ ये जो पॉइंट है, ये पॉइंट नहीं दिख रहा है यहाँ पे. ओके हाँ, तो ये जो सेक्शन है, और फिर थोड़ा ऊपर आया, नीचे गया, एग्जैक्टली सिमेट्रिकल. और भी देखो तीन जो पार्ट्स है, मैं वहां पे जाके एक्सप्लेन करूँ आपको.
Please. I'll change the slides. Don't worry. You can explain there from there only. I'll be changing the slide. Don't worry.
तो एक ही है. From here to here, it is
Correct.
okay. See,
Same.
right? फिर थोड़ा सा राइज आया, देखो थोड़ा सा राइज आया, right? उसके बाद ये थोड़ा फॉल, ये थोड़ा फॉल, ये थोड़ा फॉल. देखो rhythm of the market. This is the rhythm of the market. So there is market is not just ऐसे ही चलती नहीं है market. Market has rhythm. It moves perfectly. So there is lot of perfection in the market. It is very imperfect. How many brains working in the market? Millions of brains working in the market. But how it performs? It goes very systematic. I cover. There will be a question कि जेन सीट ने क्या किया फिर, बराबर है? जेन सीट ने क्या किया? I cover that in technical analysis.
How to make 4,500 crores?
अगर मुझे पता होता तो मैं खुद ही नहीं कर लेता.
हाँ फिर वो यहाँ ठीक क्यों करते हैं?
हाँ वो भी मैं थोड़ा, वो तो सेबी, देखिए सेबी ने उसे
वो तो
डिटेल दिया हुआ है.
40,000 करोड़ तो सेबी ने बोला दिए हो, बाकी तो वो तो 40,000 करोड़ बनाया है.
हाँ, 1 month,
अभी-
1 expiry.
वो 4.5 उसका उसे एक दो इंस्टेंट एक्सप्लेन किया है.
हाँ, yes.
एक दो इंस्टेंट एक्सप्लेन किया है, वो हम लोग बात करेंगे उसकी.
हाँ, yes.
That's just a maths.
So very important is history repeats. What has happened in the past will happen in future also. Bull markets come in, bear markets come in. Bull market के बाद bear market के बाद bull. जब bull आता है ना तो लोगों को लगता है bear कभी आएगा ही नहीं.
जब
bear आता है ना तो वो बोलता है सब कुछ खत्म हो गया,
खत्म.
अभी कुछ होने वाला नहीं है. हाँ, तो वो फीलिंग तो सबने फेस किया होगा. सो ऐसा नहीं होता है. बुल भी आती है, बेर भी आता है, बेर के बाद बुल आने वाला है. So market is cyclical and repetitive. Market discounts future, usually ahead of news. Very important. Market is ahead of news. And what is market is mass market intelligence. Why it is ahead of news? Because mass market intelligence, and that is supreme. And the fools who are operating market, they cut each other. One fool will buy and one fool will sell. तो आपस में उन लोग they will cut each other. But how the market is governed by powerful people, and that is collective intelligence. There is mass market intelligence. So market को कभी ऐसा नहीं कहता हूं मैं कि market stupid है. अभी हम लोग ने कभी क्या होता है, कभी गलती से हमने कोई शेयर बाय कर लिया हो, और वो बाय करने के बाद मैंने ही टॉप बनाया मार्केट का. ऐसा मैंने भी किया है बहुत बार, और फिर लिया और ऐसे ही अभी तो सौदा कंप्लीट नहीं हुआ और गिरने का शुरू हो गया है, और शाम तक और 2 दिन में तो गिर गया. तो मैं बोला ये मार्केट स्टूपिड है, मैंने इतने स्टडी करने के बाद दिया, उसके बाद भी ये गिर गया. ऐसा फीलिंग आता है अपने को. बट नेवर कॉल मार्केट स्टूपिड. मार्केट इज मास मार्केट इंटेलिजेंस. सो ओनली मार्केट कैन सी फ्यूचर. एंड मैं आपको बहुत अच्छा एग्जाम्पल दूं. ओके, तेजी स्टार्ट्स व्हेन देयर इज नो होप एंड ऑल इज बैड अराउंड यू. एंड सो तेजी स्टार्ट्स इन ग्लूम एंड मंदी स्टार्ट्स इन बूम. बराबर है. जब तेजी चलती है, मंदी चलने वाली हो, तभी मार्केट टॉप पे कितना एक्साइटमेंट रहता है, अपने को सब धमाल मस्ती है,
सब ले लेना है।
हाँ, और सब कुछ होता है, सबको पता है। अभी पास हुआ है 26,000, सितंबर 2024 में ही वो इवेंट पास हो गया है, और मार्च में वो 22,000 में ही सबका बिहेवियर थोड़ा कैसा हो गया था,
टोटल चेंज।
हाँ, टोटल चेंज। सो मंदी एंड तेजी का जो बिगनिंग होती है वैसी होती है। मंदी स्टार्ट फ्रॉम एवरीथिंग इज बैड, बूम, अभी कभी कुछ होने वाला नहीं है, एकदम निराशा आ जाती है, दैट इज ऑल। सो in technical analysis we have this line chart, आप देखिए लाइन चार्ट, आई एम कनेक्टिंग ओनली द क्लोजिंग प्राइसेस। अभी हम लोग चार्ट पे जाते हैं, कनेक्टिंग द क्लोजिंग प्राइसेस। अच्छा, मैं आपको अच्छा, बहुत अच्छा एग्जांपल देना चाहता हूँ। व्हाट इज मार्केट, मैंने बताया आपको कि मार्केट हैज विजन एंड मार्केट डिस्काउंट्स फ्यूचर एंड मार्केट हैज कैपेसिटी टू लुक इनटू फ्यूचर। सो नाउ टेक एन एग्जांपल दैट आई एम सिटिंग इन अ ट्रेन, I am sitting in a train. Then the engine driver is the first person to know कि ये ट्रेन अभी टनल में जाने वाली है। Am I right?
True.
और वो ही देख रहा है कि ये टनल आने वाली है and will enter the period of darkness. और जो कंपार्टमेंट में बैठे रहते हैं, they are enjoying, and suddenly जैसे अरे ये कहाँ से रात अंधेरा हो गया, तो हमको पता ही नहीं चला और हम लोग बेयर मार्केट में चले गए। And the driver, the train driver, he sees कि टनल आ रही है तो he can take proper action.
वो हेडलाइट चालू कर देगा,
वो पता ही नहीं चलता है। And it is the engine driver who will first come to know कि this is end of tunnel, end of dark period, and we are going to see the brighter trade. Brighter trade मतलब the bull market, because everybody likes bull, nobody likes bear. So how we are, don't be sitting in the last compartment of the train. जितना आप आगे जाओगे कंपार्टमेंट ट्रेन का इंजन की तरफ, if you are sitting in first compartment या second compartment, that is what I mean to say, that follows the smart people. The driver is a smart person, he knows everything, he is supermarket intelligence उसके पास है, उसके ग्रुप के पास है। तो हमको फर्स्ट और सेकंड कंपार्टमेंट में तो जल्दी मालूम पड़ जाए कि क्या हो रहा है। हम ड्राइवर नहीं बन सकते, we cannot go into the driving seat, but technical analysis will give you power to be that. So that is a very good example about market vision, futuristic market. So this is a bar chart connecting high, open, high, low, close. This is a international nomenclature. Open, high, low, close. Open, you can see left side tick, high is high, low is low, and close is right side pretty high. So you look at the bar chart, you have 4 data daily ka, okay, and line chart you have only 1 closing prices. वैसे थियरी मेरी बहुत बोरिंग लगती है, लेकिन मुझे बोलना पड़ेगा। डाउ थियरी is the heart of technical analysis. And Dow Jones index we have, that is named after Dow, Mr. Dow. And he was the inventor of technical analysis. And he identified, he was, on a sea beach, दरिया किनारे पे खड़ा था, and he saw that wave number 1, जब there is a high tide, wave number 1 comes in, you draw a line, then the water recedes. Wave number 2 comes in, it will cross the first line, it will be beyond that, then water recedes. So what is that water recede? That is correction. And wave number 1, wave number 2, wave number 3, and it goes on. So the next wave crosses the earlier line. That is a bull market. That is a bull market. You keep on going higher and higher, and there is always correction to such move. So there the water recede. And when there is a low tide, which is bear market, reverse happening. जो tide आती है, water recede, and then the line goes down and down. That is a bear market. So he has compared the stock market price movement with ocean waves. There is on the high tide and low tide, and he has identified there are 3 types of trend. One is the primary trend. And what is the primary trend? मैंने लाइन जो ड्रॉ किया है नीचे से लेके फरवरी का जो लाइन है पॉइंट टू अप, ये जो 3 पार्ट आप देख रहे हैं ना, दिस इज प्राइमरी ट्रेंड, दिस इज अ बुल रन, लॉन्ग टर्म बुल मार्केट विच में गो ऑन फॉर इयर्स, इट मे बी 1 ईयर से ज्यादा होना चाहिए, 1, 2, 5 and so on. Indian market has been in a super bull run, and therefore people are making money. We are in a super bull run for last so many years. Last so many years. If you see from 2009, 8 या 9 जो financial crisis, जो भी subprime case था, उसके बाद that was index was 7,500 I think. BSE was 7,500 at the time lowest. Then उसके बाद तो चला ही है market. So we have seen last how many years from 2004 to लेके 2025. 20 साल में there is always people have made money in the market. Your prices are as of now जो आपने buy किया होगा 20 साल पहले या between, you are better off. I don't see anybody making losses in the stock market. And I'm not talking about the cats and dogs. I mean the small little bit stocks. So the primary markets are bull markets. They are 1 year, 2 year, 5 year. And Indian market is last super bull market. Very long term is 20 years. We have been in the bull market. And you can see the small corrections in between. जैसे मैं बताया मैंने जो water receipts, तो वो छोटा सा जो correction है, that is water receipts. And this second point, it goes above with water receipts. Then the third, it goes above. Then the water receipt, and then the low tide starts. So this is how the market moves. It's compared with ocean waves. So high tide and low tide, and there is a small correction. And you can see now here when the trend starts, it lasts for a long time. So you can have some confidence कि अभी मैं buy करूँगा. The market is entering into bull run. If I buy, I have enough time and enough rise to make money in the market. And what happens, these small movements, you can see within that every moment, ये जो आप देख रहे हैं ना, यहाँ से जेम्स का भी थोड़ा कनेक्शन है इसको.
Bring that next time लेके आऊंगा मैं.
ये जो है ना, ये वाला, this area, so these are ripples. They are called as ripples. They are minor trend. So from here to here is a primary trend. Then these are all secondary trend. Secondary trend. These are also secondary bull trend. See, this is the secondary bull trend of this bull market. Secondary bear trend of this bull market. And this is the primary, okay? So ये जो छोटे-छोटे हैं ना, वो secondary हो गए. और within this छोटा-छोटा, ये जो टिक-टिक चल रही है ना, they are the minor trend. And this is influenced by players like James, by manipulation. This is a manipulative trend, this one. But they don't change the trend of the market. Trend of the market remains intact. Nobody can manipulate the market from this point to this point. Nobody can manipulate. I am very sure. Am I right? So ये होता है जो रिपोर्ट्स होते हैं मार्केट के अंदर, they are very cheating. Day to day movement होती है. So you have to be very careful about the intraday movement. They are all mostly, very confusing. And if you get into that minor trends, very difficult to handle such trend. You need lot of experience in working. See क्या होता है आज के दिन में, when I started my career, I had only closing prices every day in my charts. कंप्यूटर था मेरे पास, इंटरनेट ये सब था. अभी क्या होता है, there are software which gives you intraday, एक मिनट का चार्ट देती है, एक मिनट ना, 1 मिनट और डेली चार्ट. आज एक दिन के अंदर 6 घंटा वर्किंग और आप आधे घंटे का भी चार्ट लो तो यो 12 bars coming up, 12 data coming up. And if you are going for 5 minutes chart, तो कितना डेटा, एक घंटे में 60 कितना 12 डेटा है, 12 into 6, 72 data in just 1 day. And I was analyzing the closing price. The whole world was analyzing closing prices in those times. So this has a lot of innovation. So when you read this 5 minute chart, you can read the minor trend also. You go into deep. So the 5 minute chart, 10 minute chart, 15 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hour, choice is yours. There is enough technology available, data available. Click of a button, you get all this data. So here I have, explained various phases of the market. Where very typical, अगर आप market में हो तो ये सब बहुत easily आप see what happens, major trends में first phase of the market. See, first phase of accumulation, which is far-sighted investors sensing the business is although now depressed is due to turn, willing to pick up shares offered by discouraged and distressed sellers. So क्या होता है, तेजी कब से शुरू होती है, जब लास्ट में जो थक जाते हैं ना, अभी कुछ होने वाला नहीं है, अभी जो मिलता है वो ले लो, वो लोग लास्ट में आकर बेचते हैं. And those smart people, they say business is turning around and they start buying. So that is the bottom. And when you enter, see, I'll tell you, you enter at this second point. एक पॉइंट ऊपर पॉइंट में एंटर होता है. जैसे मेरे को इतना नॉलेज है सब्जेक्ट का, तो आई कैन नॉट एंटर द बॉटम, लेकिन ये एक स्विंग आ जाता है, उसके बाद मुझे पता चल जाता है कि मार्केट इज इन अप ट्रेंड. So you have the potential of entering the market that early. So there are various phases of the market which are repetitive. The time नहीं है मेरे पास this detailed explanation.
No, I understand, but we
just highlight
overall
overview of technical analysis.
correct.
Now there are various techniques. अभी प्राइस चार्ट देखिए आपने, टेक्निकल एनालिसिस प्राइस चार्ट आपके सामने आ गया. Now there are various techniques, there are hundreds of techniques. मेरे ख्याल से एक जन्म तो कम है मेरे लिए, एक जन्म तो कम है ऐसा लगता है मुझे. और इतने टाइम में भी मैंने लगता है कि 5 या 10 या बस ज्यादा टेक्निक कवर नहीं किया है. अगर मैं सब टेक्निक कवर करने को जाता हूँ तो 24 आवर्स भी कम है मेरे लिए. तो इतना डेप्थ है सब्जेक्ट में.
CA.
हाँ,
It's like sea. Darya.
Oh yes. So it all, you have to work on it and you have to select what you like. सब जगह पे एवरी नॉलेज फील्ड नॉलेज में ऐसा ही है. इनकम टैक्स एक्ट लेके बैठेंगे तो हर एक बार इंटरप्रिटेशन अलग ही मिलने वाला है. So
अभी तो नया भी आ रहा है.
अभी तो नया भी आ रहा है. So here let me see this very famous technique. This is called as head and shoulder pattern. Now this is a shape, very old analysis, हाँ, लेकिन बहुत ब्यूटीफुल है. Now what is head and shoulder analysis? एक मिनट आपको मैं I will explain one technique and one statistical technique. दो टेक्निक एक्सप्लेन कर दूंगा मैं आपको. And you can do lot of work at home later on. See, this is I think it's nifty. I think. Nifty. It's nifty. The market started was up from here to here. यहाँ तक, यहाँ पर उसने एक, you can see this is a shoulder. There is human figure.
Correct.
Human figure, head and shoulder. जैसे हमारा head and 2 shoulders. There is a left shoulder, and then there is a head over here. Then there is a right shoulder, and then there is a breakout. So क्या होता है? Market was rising, then there is a consolidation. Here there is churning. Smart people are selling, and those who are bakra जो lamb बोलते हैं, innocent lamb, they are excited about the market at this level. So they are buying. So there is a accumulation and distribution. I mean distribution is going on. They are selling to innocent lambs. So यहाँ से यहाँ पे you can see this left shoulder, ये head हो गया, और ये right shoulder. Head is above both the shoulder. So you have to understand the rules. Head is above left and right and left. And these two shoulders may not be equal. ये थोड़ा ऊपर नीचे हो सकता है, लेकिन यहाँ से ऊपर नहीं जा सकता. और यहाँ पे ये नेकलाइन ड्रॉ करनी है. ठीक है, when the market is here, यहाँ पर नेकलाइन आ जाती है, बराबर है. ये हमको पता नहीं है. मार्केट इज डेवलपिंग. यहाँ तक पॉइंट में मुझे 2 पॉइंट मिल गए, ये हो रही है, तो मैंने लाइन ड्रॉ कर दी. और उसके बाद मुझे पता चल गया कि ये लाइन क्रॉस करेगी तो देन मार्केट गोस डाउन. दैट इज हेड एंड शोल्डर. So this is one technique, one simple technique. There are many patterns which you know there are in technical analysis. So when you see such type of figures, you can form an opinion कि अभी बेचना है कि सेल करना है. So this is how you work on technical analysis. अभी आपका क्वेश्चन ये रहेगा, ये जो ब्रेकआउट आया है तो बहुत नीचे आया है, तो इतना टाइम क्या करने का, बैठे रहने का? हाँ, ये तो बहुत बड़ा सवाल है, राइट? So there are techniques which can, you can go closer to the top of the market. See, this is applicable to, this chart is for GBP INR. So technical analysis subject is applicable everywhere, whether it is gold,
Currency
silver,
or silver.
gold, silver, currency, commodities में आप कुछ भी ले लो. Only what you need is only price data. So this is a universal application. So I've been trading in gold for so many years, for many years. Gold का chart आप देख लो यहाँ पर, so beautiful chart,
Super.
so beautiful chart. And gold is working fantastic on 200 days moving average. Fantastic. कुछ मत करो, gold को 200 days moving average पे लगा दो. देखो आप, मैं बताऊंगा आपको. मैं अभी 5 minutes में I will explain moving average आपको.
Oh, one in 10-15 minutes you have not.
See, moving, मैं gold का chart यहाँ पे दिखाऊंगा. If internet is available, because I don't have data here, but if internet is available,
Yeah,
I will show
internet
you.
is there.
Yeah, so we'll show you gold chart, and I'll show you that 200 days moving average में अगर आपने investment किया होता.
उसको बुला लेते हैं ऊपर. भारी है, उसको बुला लेते हैं.
I want to show you one beautiful Reliance. ये Reliance का बहुत पुराना चार्ट है. You can see the head and shoulder. I don't want to show the head and shoulder. It's all right.
कोई
If you remember, UTI chairman Mr. Firwani, किसको पता होगा Firwani?
I know.
You know Firwani?
वो उसमें सुना है सर.
हाँ?
हर्षद मेहता में फिरवानी आया है.
Firwani आया था ना? इसे he committed suicide.
Because of the
He
investigation.
committed suicide. और मेजर प्रॉब्लम क्या था उससे कि यूटीआई, ये जो मैंने चार्ट बनाया है यहाँ पर, यूटीआई बॉट रिलायंस एट 375 रुपीज.
Correct.
एंड ह्यूज अमाउंट.
And
उस जमाने में उसे 375 में बाय किया था. तभी ये चार्ट पे देखा तो ये तो सेल था. And there was inquiry and whatever happened. So what I want to say, whatever happens, even manipulation, everything is covered. Set up manipulation also, you don't worry. You will be able to take your decision right way.
one question, you can do this only when you have enough data, ना 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, कैसा कुछ नहीं.
अरे नहीं, ये तो डेटा तो बहुत है.
हाँ,
अभी आपको
Reliance का है.
20 साल में मिल जाएगा ना.
बट अगर आईपीओ का है तो उसमें तो कुछ नहीं
आईपीओ
कर
में भी
6 महीने के बाद करना चाहिए ना एटलीस्ट.
यस यार.
बिकॉज वहां पे भी बहुत कुछ एक्शन हो रहा है.
हाँ, आईपीओ में बराबर है.
some are doing well, ना मतलब it's not that some are.
हाँ. Just there are number of these, all these patterns are there.
generally then when the green line crosses the red line and then
बहुत बड़ा
these are all things and part na.
ये पूरा क्या बोलते हैं, ये 5 days सेमिनार का मटेरियल है.
वो इन्वेस्टर
Oh my
अपना
God.
कॉन्क्लेव.
I suggest, because officially the time is over, 6 o'clock,
Okay.
and some people may start leaving one by one. And one announcement he will make about the next meeting, that date. Because
that
somebody may
we'll
not know.
cover. I think we'll cover.
Manish, cover at least 2 or 3 bank charts, Bank Nifty, HDFC Bank and Sin Bank, because people are quite involved in that. And you always prepare 6-7 charts, even if you cover 2-3 charts. And
Any
then,
pattern that
and
is-
then if people go, there'll be many who will sit for much longer time, and then you can demand on that, because even suppose 4-5 people just start leaving, we can't stop that.
So first thing,
You know how
Nobody
I'll
will
cover-
leave. I think anybody will
I'll
have.
cover moving average.
We
Which
can't
will
speak
be,
for them, is
No, no,
their
see,
liberty.
listen. Just give me 5 minutes.
हाँ.
मैं पूरा आपका पैसा वसूल कर दूंगा यार.
हम लोग सर आराम से सीखने आए हैं. We are not here.
मैं 5
to get
मिनट,
this
आप मुझे
PR.
5-10 मिनट दीजिए, मैं आपको ऐसी टेक्निक सिखाऊंगा यहाँ पर. So
हमें कोई CPRs के लिए यहाँ कोई बैठा नहीं. यहाँ सब सीखने के लिए बैठा
see, moving average is such a fantastic technique, and it's so simple, and its application is, you can be a long term investor. आप अपना चॉइस कर लो कि मैं, you first you identify yourself, you are a long term investor or a short term trader, and accordingly you can manage so easily. तो मैं आपको ये दिखाऊंगा. This moving average is, what is a moving average? Moving average, मैं आप एक एग्जांपल दूं. ये वर्कशीट है. On this one column is date, closing price, then the total of 5 days. See, this 5 days moving average का मैं कैलकुलेट करता हूँ. 5 days moving average. देखिए ये चार्ट के अंदर, ये टेबल के अंदर क्या लिखा हुआ है? क्लोज प्राइस, देन टोटल ऑफ 5 on the 5th डे लिखा हुआ है मैंने, राइट? कुछ 1,45,000. टोटल ऑफ 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days.
Correct.
Then what is average? Just divide by 5, simple.
Correct.
तो वो कॉलम मैंने राइट में और भी 5 डिवीजन कुछ 20,000, 29,000 लिखा हुआ है वहाँ पे. ऑलराइट. नेक्स्ट डे व्हेन आई एम मूविंग, I remove the first day, I take total of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is moving average. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. और टोटल किया और इसको भी 5 से डिवाइड किया, बाजू में मैंने
Excel में डाल दिया।
एंटर्ड, यस, एक्सेल में डालो, इमीडिएटली मिल जाएगा। ओके, सो यू कीप ऑन डूइंग। नेक्स्ट आएगा तो एक ऊपर का निकाल के नया डेटा ले लो एंड यू कीप ऑन प्रिपेयरिंग योर प्राइस डेटा एंड यू हैव टू प्लॉट प्राइस एंड मूविंग एवरेज डेटा साइमल्टेनियसली। हमको कुछ नहीं करना है, अभी तो डेटा ऐसे क्लिक होगा बटन में, 25 डेज मूविंग एवरेज का जस्ट गिव इंडिकेशन एंड चार्ट इज रेडी। आई मीन ये तो बहुत पुरानी बात है, अभी तो फैंटास्टिक है। कहीं पर भी आप ट्रेडिंग व्यू में भी जाएंगे तो मिल जाएगा आपको। ट्रेडिंग व्यू के साइड में जाएंगे तो फ्री ऑफ चार्ज साइड यू गेट एवरीथिंग, द होल वर्ल्ड डेटा इज अवेलेबल, एनी एक्सचेंज ऐसे ही मिल जाएगा। सो दिस इज मूविंग एवरेज एंड व्हाट हैपेंस, देखिए, when the prices goes above the moving average you buy, when the prices go above the moving average you buy, and when the prices go below the moving average you sell, very simple। अभी ये ब्लू लाइन जो आप देख रहे हैं ना, that is 200 days moving average, that is 200 days moving average। so when the prices are above that blue line you buy। तो आप देखिए आपका परफॉर्मेंस कैसा रहेगा, कितना टाइम वो 200 डेज मूविंग एवरेज के ऊपर था वो,
काफी दिन।
हाँ काफी दिन, और कितना सिंपल टेक्निक है और नो सोफिस्टिकेटेड सॉफ्टवेयर अवेलेबल। जस्ट आई से गो टू ट्रेडिंग व्यू एंड यू पुट योर स्टॉक देयर एंड 200 डेज मूविंग लगा लो, या 300 भी लगा सकते हो आप, एंड यू कैन फाइंड आउट योरसेल्फ। देखिए मैंने गोल्ड का चार्ट यहाँ पे बनाया है, थोड़ा पुराना चार्ट है, बाद में मुझे टाइम मिलेगा तो मैं गोल्ड का चार्ट लेटेस्ट ट्रेडिंग व्यू से निकाल के दिखाऊंगा आपको। इज वर्किंग फैंटास्टिक 200 डेज मूविंग एवरेज। सो नाउ 200 डेज मूविंग एवरेज लॉन्ग टर्म इन्वेस्टर, वेरी लॉन्ग टर्म इन्वेस्टर। इसमें जो बाय सेल को सिग्नल्स है ना वो साल में एक बार आएंगे। सो जैसे मैंने आपको बताया कि टेक्निकल एनालिसिस कंप्लीट कोड इन इटसेल्फ, इट इज नॉट, देयर इज अ मिसकंसेप्शन दैट टेक्निकल एनालिसिस यूज्ड फॉर ओनली फॉर ट्रेडिंग, एंड ट्रेडिंग इज कंफ्यूज्ड विद स्पेकुलेशन। सी, speculation and gambling. What is speculation? If you see dictionary meaning of speculation, intelligent working of mind. Speculation is different from gambling. Gambling is 3 पत्ती खेलो और ब्लाइंड खेलो और पैसा लगाओ। अमिताभ बच्चन ने वो कैसे कौन से मूवी में काम किया था,
हेरा फेरी
ऐसा कुछ,
हंसना नहीं
वो कुछ, हाँ हंसना नहीं बराबर,
मुझे बराबर याद है
वो बोलते हैं गैम्बलिंग, और वो मैनिपुलेशन भी था।
विनोद करना
जो रमी खेलते हैं ना, दैट इज नॉट गैम्बलिंग, बिकॉज रमी में इफ यू हैव स्किल टेक्निक यू कैन कन्वर्ट योर बैड पत्ता इनटू गुड पत्ता आल्सो। सो यू नो देयर इज डिफरेंस बिटवीन गैम्बलिंग, स्पेकुलेशन, देयर इज डिफरेंस बिटवीन ट्रेडिंग एंड सट्टा करके ट्रेडर लोगों को ऐसा लगा था, ट्रेडर लोग ऐसे ही सट्टा करते, लेकिन ट्रेडर वेरी शार्प, ट्रेडिंग कम्युनिटी इज वेरी शार्प। इफ यू नॉट शार्प तो एक साल से ज्यादा बैठ नहीं पाओगे यहाँ पर।
जो नॉलेज के साथ करता है वो ट्रेडर है, जो विदाउट नॉलेज करता है वो सट्टा करता है।
हाँ वो बराबर, दैट इज करेक्ट,
Exactly. If you understand its analysis,
that's correct.
If you don't understand its gambling.
बिना समझे जो ना हर कोई एरा जो घुस रहा है ना मार्केट में, ट्रेडिंग करूंगा वो लोग लॉस करके निकलते हैं। जो प्रॉपर समझ के कर रहा है वो प्रॉफिट करके निकलता है।
that's correct.
Jensi जैसा.
नॉट
It was a properly
that is a different aspect.
run, it was
तो
a-
ये क्या होता है, when you have knowledge of the subject, there is no case you will make a loss in the stock. There is no case. And if you are a trader, you use 5 days moving average. You have to do some work. ऐसा नहीं कहता हूँ कि आप 5 days कल से शुरू कर दो और पैसा बनाने का शुरू कर दो, ऐसा नहीं है। You have to do some practice. There's a lot of क्या बोलते हैं इसमें, there are a lot of intricacies to work on this. It is looking simple, but you need to work. But इतना काम नहीं पड़ेगा कि सालों साल नहीं निकल जाएंगे आपके। आपने अगर 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 महीना काम किया तो you come to know how to work on moving averages. And there is lot of material available, techniques available, and knowledge available on internet. So that is about moving average. So I think I come
gold
to
is going
अरे ये तो बहुत पुराना चार्ट है, आप अभी का चार्ट देखो, ये तो बहुत पुराना चार्ट है। सो गोल्ड आपने अगर बाय किया होता, ये लेवल कौन सा था, कुछ कौन सा था?
What is the blue line whenever it crosses?
That is 200 days moving average.
So when that price crosses that, you should buy.
हाँ, yeah. सो कुछ है
यहाँ पे ना,
हाँ यहाँ पे कुछ
से
बात है
इसका बड़ा है।
यहाँ पे बाई करना चाहिए।
हाँ
ये प्राइस नीचे गया तो यू शुड बाय।
सिंपल सिंपल आई डोंट मेक इट कॉम्प्लिकेटेड एक्सपोनेंशियल देन एवरेज आएगा और ट्रायंगल आएगा वो सब वेरी सिंपल मेक लाइफ सिंपल मार्केट इतना कॉम्प्लिकेटेड है लेकिन इतना कॉम्प्लिकेटेड मार्केट में वेरी सिंपलिसिटी आई कैन से विद माय एक्सपीरियंस market is simple we make it complicated our greed make it complicated so these are two factors which makes market complicated market is very simple अगर मार्केट सिंपल नहीं होता तो मैं पैसा नहीं बनाता
बड़ा सही बात।
right so now something on
अच्छा करेंसी
हाँ currency also this is USD NRI
ट्रम्प का कोई
Oh,
effect
yes.
नहीं है।
नहीं ये पुराना ही है मैंने अभी लेटेस्ट में देखने को तो वी हैव टू रिफर टू ट्रेडिंग व्यू चलो अभी नेक्स्ट अभी क्या करते हैं जेन स्ट्रीट देखते हैं थोड़ा
Yes.
Yes,
Hey, what
Most
is
important.
Jane Street? Yes.
We have come from
Now,
Jane Street.
this is a combination of, you know, Jane Street का कुछ technical analysis थोड़ा लेना देना है जैसे option is very interesting. Once upon a time, option was in Badla was stopped suddenly. I think Yashwant Sinha was the finance minister and he stopped Badla. अभी
2000 के साल
ये Badla बंद हो गया and they brought in FNO. Now, why they brought in FNO nobody knows. But one thing we understand कि वो FIs को बदला समझ में नहीं आता था
Modernization.
modernization. So FI wanted FNO to come into India. So they brought in FNO. ठीक है. So in the beginning there was no volume in options. All the volume was in futures because futures were same to same as Badla. See, I had worked in Badla also, and futures में भी मैं पहले काम करता था. Futures में आज भी काम कर रहा हूँ. Option में I was started to work from 2007-8 के बाद मैंने ऑप्शन चालू किया. मेरा 18 साल का ऑप्शन का एक्सपीरियंस है. So option is a very interesting way of working. So how you implement your ideas, that is what is option. अभी आपको ऑप्शन के बारे में थोड़ा बहुत I mean you understand the basics of option, call option, put option, everything.
Yes.
So now what happened, how Jane Street manipulated option market. Now Bank Nifty का constituents खाली 12 composition of Bank Nifty there are only 12 stocks which determine the value of Bank Nifty and HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, Axis Bank और लास्ट में कोटक बैंक ये 4-5 बैंक और HDFC बैंक का बहुत बड़ा वेटेज है इसके ऊपर और ICICI बैंक का भी अभी बहुत हो गया है. So Jane Street what they used to buy HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank in huge quantity and they used to inflate the prices of Bank Nifty. So their strategy shows that one day on an expiry day में उनका सब बहुत बड़ा चक्कर था लेकिन मेरा एक्सपीरियंस कुछ अलग है वो मैं बात करूंगा. Now on the expiry day and Bank Nifty had weekly expiry which has been discontinued now and Nifty का तो weekly expiry आज भी चालू है. So weekly expiry was Thursday या Wednesday था Bank Nifty का Wednesday को expiry था.
करेक्ट.
So Wednesday को क्या करने का HDFC बैंक, ICICI बैंक का huge buying, they used to do huge buying and obviously Bank Nifty will go up. So what they would do, they will buy call option. पहले call option buy कर लेने का huge quantity and sell put both combination and then the prices goes up, Bank Nifty goes up and it goes very fast, इतना fast कि ऐसे कि मैं बोल रहा मैंने मनोज से बात कर रहा था कि मैं अभी वॉशरूम जाकर रहा मैं देखा ना ये 400-500 पॉइंट पड़ गया बैंक निफ्टी ऐसी हालत होती है. तो जेंट्स जब था तो वॉशरूम जाने के लिए भी चिंता थी कि जावे कि नहीं जावे ऐसा.
High frequency trading.
Very वो भी so what is high frequency trade? I will explain to you what is high frequency trade. So now they used to buy in वो अभी तो क्या है वो बास्केट बाइंग आता है ना एक ही बटन में ले डालो और huge quantities are bought ऐसे ही fast एकदम fast. So Bank Nifty goes up by 500 points, 400 points briskly. And what happens in the option prices goes up very high. अभी लास्ट डे है आज का मैं सोचता हूँ अभी बैंक निफ्टी 200 पॉइंट से ज्यादा तो बढ़ने वाला नहीं है. जनरली 200 पॉइंट से ज्यादा नहीं बढ़ेगा तो मैं क्या करता हूँ 200 पॉइंट के ऊपर का कॉल बेच के वाला आज को पैसा मिल जाएगा अपने को पूरा का पूरा और ये पूरा इन द मनी आ जाता है क्योंकि वो 400 पॉइंट बढ़ गया. then I get scared and then I start covering my position. So I start buying calls. Okay. Or they will start selling calls. Jane Street will start selling calls because they know that this index will come down immediately. तो मुझे जब पता है तो मैं कुछ भी कर सकता हूँ मार्केट में. So they used to sell calls and then they sell everything. ICICI बैंक, HDFC बैंक, हाँ फ्यूचर्स जो भी लिया वो सब बेच दिया उसने और नीचे पुट ले लिया रिवर्स.
उतना ही बड़ा पुट ले लिया.
तो अभी एक दिन का उसका स्टैटिस्टिक था कि दे लॉस्ट 700 crore इन फ्यूचर्स. आईसीआईसी बैंक लिया, एचडीएफसी बैंक लिया, दे लॉस्ट. तो उनको पता है ये लॉस होने वाला है. तो दे लॉस्ट 700 crores इन फ्यूचर्स बट दे मेड प्रॉफिट अराउंड 2400 crores इन ऑप्शंस. एंड दैट वाज द 91% पीपल मेकिंग लॉसेस इन मार्केट. तो ये मूवमेंट, तो ये जो एपिसोड हुआ वो बैंक निफ्टी में सेबी ने स्टडी किया है. लेकिन मेरा एक्सपीरियंस ऐसा रहा कि मैं 2008-9 से आई एम ट्रेडिंग इन ऑप्शंस. आई एम डूइंग वेरियस स्ट्रेटजीज फ्रॉम प्लेन वेनिला ऑप्शन राइटिंग, देन यू से स्ट्रेडल, स्ट्रेंगल, व्हाटएवर, with some combination. But what is the heart of everything? Very important, I want to say, the trend. What is the heart of whatever method you use in trading? Whether you are trading by options, you are trading by futures, ट्रेंड कहाँ है ये पता होना चाहिए. अगर ट्रेंड अपने को पता है then you are in the market, then whatever method you employ. And I was doing very good peaceful business from 2010 से लेके 20 तक कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं था. लेकिन लास्ट 4 साल से मेरी हालत खराब हो गई थी. And when I sit before the screen, there's so much of volume and so much of pressure and stress. It is not only in bank nifty, but in every stock. Every stock. आप बजाज ऑटो ले लो, उसमें भी मैनिपुलेशन. Then you take any stock, there is huge manipulation. And what happens, you know, ऐसे अभी देखो ये महीने में everything is so cool. The option price is also going very cool. लेकिन उस जमाने में क्या था, ये 4 साल पहले की बात कर रहा हूँ. HDFC बैंक, if HDFC बैंक goes up by 1%, तो 8% दूर के कॉल, 8%, 8% दूर के कॉल का भाव भी कुछ अनाप शनाप हो जाता था. इतना डेंजर मार्केट में. So that was the manipulation. So
that is out of the money market.
Out of money calls.
Call.
Yes, that was the situation. So that was whole planning, and their planning is much beyond the bank nifty. And this is only a tip of an iceberg, I would say. अभी ऐसा Jane Street was doing 30% turnover of the stock market. 30%. And in China जैसी country में, if any entity is having volume of 5% of the exchange, then they are caught. There is investigation. So I don't understand why SEBI was not elected. They kept on reporting 91% making losses. Stop, don't do FNO. वो BMC का नोटिस आता है ना, बारिश बहुत होने बाहर मत निकलो तुम. रोज बाहर नहीं, ऐसा रोज नोटिस आएगा आपको, बाहर मत निकलो, पूरा मानसून में घर पे ही बैठे रहो. तो इन लोग का भी ऐसा ही है. Don't do FNO. But then what was the hard problem? This was the manipulation. So when one entity is doing 30% of turnover, how come SEBI not able to look at that?
If you read that interview, I've been tracking SEBI and I've attended BC also. They are very clear that anybody, we will give a free market. Unlike Madhuri. Madhuri was after regulation, I will catch hold of all the market manipulators. So she said, I started the investigation. तो मेरे टर्नर में हुआ था. This guy is saying कि free market, आप पैसा बढ़ाओ. मार्केट मैनिपुलेट करूंगा तो मैं नहीं, फिर सो टफ की डिप, बट आई वांट फ्री इकोनॉमी. रीड द वेरी क्लियर. सेबी इज क्लियर कि आप पैसा बढ़ाओ, चीटिंग करोगे तो मैं पैसे नहीं दूंगा. दैट्स द डिफरेंस.
नहीं, बट 30% मार्केट शेयर नहीं ले सकते.
मार्केट शेयर
holding 30% and
you can have 50% market share. आपको अगर ट्रेड करना है तो आप करो ना, पैसे बढ़ाओ. कौन लोग मैनिपुलेट कर रहा था वो है,
तो 30% हो गया तो मैनिपुलेट करने की ताकत आ जाएगी.
It's a big manipulation. Obviously you can't.
Size of the market and ability to participate in the market, there are two different things. Market is such huge that he could do that.
it is not allowed actually.
So
Manish,
let me complete my experience. My experience अभी 2 मिनट में complete करता हूँ. Then we can have a discussion. Last 4 years से there was so much of stress, but fortunately because of my knowledge and my strategy and whatever, luckily I didn't make loss, but profit was less compared to my turnover was amazingly, you know, ऐसे banker में कभी सोचता नहीं, कभी बिल ही नहीं देखता था broker का क्योंकि वो एसटीटी लग लग के जो आने का मतलब कल से काम बंद करो ये सब देख के, तो दैट वाज व्हाट हाउ आई लिव्ड फॉर लास्ट 4 years, बट इट वाज वेरी डिफिकल्ट. सो जैन सीट वाज वर्किंग हियर. नाउ अभी मुझे ऐसा लगा कि बिकॉज ऑफ माय एज आई एम गेटिंग मोर नर्वस अबाउट द मार्केट. आई वाज वंडरिंग कि मेरा कुछ स्वभाव बदले हो गया है कि मैं ऐसा क्यों करने लगा हूँ, कि ऐसा मैं क्यों कुर्सी में बैठा हूँ, उठता ही नहीं हूँ, खाना पीना सब कुछ स्क्रीन के सामने, ऐसी हालत थी. तो दैट वाज जैन स्ट्रीट. बट नाउ आई फील मच रिलैक्स. अभी ये जो 1 महीने में जो काम हुआ है, नाउ गोइंग बैक टू बिफोर कोविड पीरियड, मार्केट ऐसा ही शांत था बिफोर कोविड. सो रियली जैन स्ट्रीट इज डन too much damage in the market, and they have touched not bank nifty, they have touched, I said Bajaj Auto का भी every stock. I was just wondering ये क्या हो क्या रहा है, 1% बढ़ रहा है, इधर 8% दूर का जो कॉल है वो 50% राइज मारता है, and you have to cover up, you have to book a loss. So there was huge losses which we have made because of Jane Street. So that is what I have my personal experience on the screen.
They so are now the market of the Nifty and Nifty Bank looks like in as per the 200 DMA or 20 DMA. What your chart live chart current तो chart नहीं होगा ना, होएगा
नहीं,
Definite correction चाहिए.
No, it's okay. If you can't show on the screen, Manish, you can see on your laptop,
connection is there,
and then you can give your
it's there.
interpretation.
yes,
यहाँ का लैपटॉप है ना, हाँ तो होगा ही ना,
है ना.
to get started बोल रहा है. चलो याहू फाइनेंस में जाता हूँ. He is asking for registration.
Definitely you should cover. Silver में बहुत action I am expecting.
वही है, we use 200 days moving average ना कहीं पर आपको मिल जाएगा, और आपको exit भी मिलेगा उसके अंदर, आपको exit भी मिलेगा उसके अंदर. और you hold on ना, you buy MCX में ले लेने का contract, खड़े रहने का आराम से.
सर एक मिनट जस्ट क्वेश्चन था, जितने भी हेड एंड शोल्डर या जितने भी हमें टेक्निक पता है, BSC and we can also use it in the particular script also.
Yes, yes,
Same thing.
yes.
It's a commodity currency everywhere.
Everywhere
You can use. But you'll find that
But if you are a long term investor, say around say you are holding for 1 year or more than that, so then 200 day average is the good option. That
yes, yes. You can use 250 also.
Okay, the higher the longer period, the longer.
But you cannot go beyond 300, I think.
Okay.
300 max. 200 is international standard. अब कोई भी चैनल पे जाएंगे ना तो 200
कई
बहुत बात करेगा वो.
वही बात कर.
हाँ.
Beyond that, if you go, no, there is a science of wave theory. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves. So this is for trading. Long term, you see the waves, first, second, third, fourth. So they cover the market cycles. So there is Elliott theory, there is Dow theory, there is Elliott theory.
Yeah.
And there are several technical analysts here. I would say one better than another. Like Manish Bidhi, Satnam Singh is also there. Everybody uses own techniques based on your style. The only thing is it helps you to improve your style. And we have often done techno-fundamental analysis because a lot of people are saying technical is all bullshit. But technical people will say, I don't understand funda. It's not easy to spend, so much knowledge. Best is combine it. Today the trend is, besides algo and AI, which is a buzzword today, is techno funda. So this is a strength of this roundtable because people have deep knowledge about the banks. HDFC Bank, we have seen the results. Today bonus came 1:1.
Yeah.
Special dividend. Axis Bank, we have seen technical impact, 2,800 crores yesterday. So what will happen tomorrow? And the chart. Based on that, now a lot of people, a CEO of a AMC told me moving averages, does it work? He says, I made a lot of money, but I lost huge money. He lost faith in moving averages.
Correct.
So then they said, doesn't work always. When you have powerful players like Jane Street, who can, I always believe, move the markets. Many times Manish and I know each other for more than 35 years, 40 years, right? And we often say, you show any chart, and you do a prediction and we'll make another chart. Because after depends on the liquidity, Bank Nifty is liquid. If you take a stock, your volumes today, some stocks you have 30,000 crore shares, 40,000 shares, ऐसा thing, उसमें आप सीधा 2 lakh share ले लो, it will move the market. Then you take another, so
What was that?
Online participant is also there.
Okay. So that is what, HFT. There is HFT.
and co-location case.
So there is the speed technology we can never beat. We cannot compete with them. That HFT color. So that is what technology they used, Jane Street, to make profits. And there are many others who are also there in the market. कभी वो बाहर आते दिखने का है, अभी तो शांत बैठे होंगे।
इसमें क्या दिखा रहे हैं? So it's showing नीचे जाएगा ना निफ्टी?
नहीं, अभी क्या है कि निफ्टी is showing good strength, and looking at this chart, I'm confident Nifty will go up from here.
July expiry is a buy or a sell based on today's rate? Monday opening.
Monday opening will become
Clear, understanding analysis. No, otherwise
See,
also
anything
understand.
below 24,500, I think is 200 demand. That will,
See,
if
this
goes
level,
below that, then there is a problem.
Bank Nifty has already crossed its earlier top.
Oh, okay.
Are you in Nifty or Bank
corresponding-
Nifty?
this is
Money
Nifty,
Nifty.
Nifty.
Are you
Nifty.
Let's talk about Nifty then. Bank
So that is an inference.
Hmm.
Bank Nifty is always ahead of Nifty.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
No. Today there are 4 results. We have already seen Yes Bank came, RBL came, HDFC Bank came. That results, deep dive below the bottom line and will determine the movement of the over 35% of
Even
the components.
Reliance
of
has
Nifty.
also given a result, na? So they
Reliance
expect-
also came yesterday. To impact of Reliance, of course, that is driven by Asian Paints ka abnormal profit.
Okay.
And today is 4. So it will determine the movement of Bank Nifty. HDFC Bank's bonus also shows the confidence in the banking system. That will determine. All the provisions are high. And Reliance results will determine. And the trends, whether
See,
it
what
is
happens,
All the everybody.
trade deal, etc. So everything is in the price.
We'll take it offline.
Let's take it.
Let us first finish the meeting as the official meeting, and
So Nifty,
I think that will be more better, and then we'll take it offline.
So
Is
Nifty
there?
we are taking or?
यहाँ पर है, but ये-
He has not given his view with this.
No, I am bullish on Nifty.
Of July expiry.
जुलाई के बाद भी रहेगा ना ऊपर.
Okay, up to July expiry, that means it's positive trend for next 15
Yes,
days. Okay,
It's a positive trend.
okay, clear. And later also you are saying.
Yes.
Fine. Bank Nifty?
Bank Nifty is already above last top here. It's already above last top. जो September 24 का जो top
56,000.
था,
हाँ.
So,
वो कभी का क्रॉस कर रही है उसे.
correct.
So that itself is showing strength. Now suppose
No,
if,
I understand for the benefit of all. Yeah.
so when the market crosses earlier top,
Ah,
simple like wave theory, high tide,
yeah,
नया level cross करेगा तो it's a bullish trend.
it's a bullish trend.
So MRF has closed just the last top. So
But that's a liquid counter. It's a liquid counter.
but that's okay.
So
but
the-
I'll just
the
tell you about
trend
the
lines work differently.
price. The price.
Now, can you look at just HDFC Bank and IndusInd Bank? Then we take it informally. These two practical charts.
पर वो नहीं आ रहा है, यहाँ आ नहीं रहा है,
Let's see.
Screen पे नहीं.
स्क्रीन पे नहीं आ रहा
मेरे ख्याल से
आपके इस लैपटॉप में आने चलेगा?
HDFC Bank. HDFC.
है. क्यों नहीं हो रहा है, जरा देखना.
हुआ तो था अभी।
नहीं हो रहा.
See HDFC Bank chart. यही है ना?
Person has gone.
इसका नाम है, वो मूविंग एवरेज में करता हूँ.
Staff is not available.
अगर आप चार्ट देखो तो इट्स अ ब्यूटीफुल चार्ट. HDFC.
Which one? HDFC? Huh?
Super chart. It's a beautiful chart.
Yes. And it's 1:1 bonus and 3 rupees special dividend.
होने दो ना. See, bonus was well known.
No, I'm saying fundamentals.
It was known before today.
No, it was not known.
It was known.
No.
It was known.
No, it was not known.
नहीं सबको पता था.
No.
सबको पता
But
है.
that's okay.
पता है.
No, आपको पता होएगा.
नहीं सबको
हाँ,
पता
नहीं,
है.
you can't speak. I did not know. If you want, we can take a
Oh,
poll. Huh?
you can
Yes.
take.
अभी what is
So maybe
It is
I'm
not
not
relevant.
insider.
नहीं
It is not relevant.
न्यूज में था।
नहीं
आपको मालूम होएगा, 2 of you.
अरे
Okay.
न्यूज में
No,
था।
let's not waste our time. No.
चलो जाने दो.
Take a view, no.
I want to say कि I want to say in technical analysis don't worry about the news. I said don't read pink paper, don't look at business channels. Just concentrate on your price numbers.
Price
That's
charts.
all.
Correct, correct.
वो आने दो ना, बोनस को आने दो, जिसको आने को इसका आने दो.
HDFC Bank positive.
Money
IndusInd Bank.
देख लो.
IndusInd Bank. And here one important thing during your session you said when there's a loss and after that it goes up. Here your chart will show when they announce the loss, it went from what?
IndusInd लिखे
In the scene.
USIND.
IND.
आएगा. ये न्यू लोज है.
नहीं उसमें तकलीफ.
वही that is what he said.
See 2 years chart.
प्रेस में आ गया.
2 years
आ
chart.
गया.
आपको पता से पता.
प्रेस में nobody knew.
क्या पता.
I know market.
What does it show?
Official news I know.
What?
कि बोनस देने डिक्लेयर करना.
निकलो
वो नहीं था.
निकलो.
See, IndusInd Bank
Yeah.
is still not come out of its dark tunnel. It's still still in the bear phase.
Yes.
It has not. I would not like to, I would like to make a observation
Yes.
that this bank is bullish, and I would not like to say that.
At what level it will become bullish?
So how it forms, you know.
Yes,
अभी देखो उसने एक कैसा अभी तो कोई
structure is being formed. It went to 650 rupees.
no,
नहीं नहीं यहाँ पे नहीं
कुछ
है।
It went to 650 rupees when the loss was announced.
but that's okay.
So now 650 ka it is all 870.
That will happen.
It's gone 30% up.
That is okay.
30% up is great money.
No,
ऊपर से
understood.
तो गिरा।
Understood. I'm talking about if you want to make an investment on long-term basis.
No. Trading only. The topic of technical analysis is trading. Forget investment. It is for the day. It is for Monday. It is for Tuesday. It is for July expiry. A trading volume is 350 times put option volume is 350 times of cash volumes today. So there are so much more people interested in trading. So it's from trading angle only.
Trading angle.
So I think मेरे हिसाब से I think now
I'm expert in technical analysis.
Okay, so
also. I want your
Manoj ji, okay. So I think we'll take it
So
up.
950 or 600.
देखो अभी मनोज को क्या है कि मेरा रंग लग गया है।
Manish.
Manoj,
yes or no?
investor था।
we will not.
अभी वो मेरे साथ लेके
No, yes,
अपनी बात करने लगा।
950 or 650.
See, it is a उसको क्या है मेरा वो कोविड का डिजीज लग गया है। वो पहले हार्डकोर इन्वेस्टर था लेकिन अभी वो मेरे साथ रह के थोड़ा ट्रेडिंग की बात
So I think I will take it as a stop. One second, Manoj, I'll take it as a stop.
Yeah, are you having a
See, I am talking about
short-term view.
no, I am talking about trend of the market. The trend of industry is
Yes.
still there. That is one thing.
No, yeah.
Trend is there.
Yes.
Now, as I said,
Hmm.
in the whole play of a market, the bull and bear,
Hmm.
you can play primary market, you can play secondary market.
Yes.
So the secondary market has gone up by 30%. Okay?
Yes.
So if you are smart enough to play the secondary market,
Yes.
you can make money whatever out of 30% में अगर 5% भी मिल गया या 10% भी मिल गया तो बहुत बड़ी बात है. If you get 50% of the total market move, that's a great thing to happen because it's
Moving
a big
average
thing.
method has been working
You
very
can
well
work-
since last 3 months.
You can work on that.
Short-term
So if
moving
you
average.
use,
Yes.
say, here, if you use 20 days moving average on Indian Bank instead of 200 days moving average, it will look fantastic for trading. It will look fantastic for trading.
And if a star CEO comes and a team ED comes, which can come anytime, RBI has asked for names, and then that can trigger a re-rating.
But that is a fundamental analysis.
Correct. That's why I'm saying techno.
Why are you talking trading a fundamental?
No, but then trading. No, both. So you know that, and you
So I
know the
think
moving
Manoj
average.
bhai, please, Manoj bhai, please.
Chalo, let's close the
Release
meeting.
the-
Huh?
So thank you very much,
Yeah.
Manish bhai. It is a
Cannot-
wonderful
cannot
journey.
technical
This
quota,
can be for, I think, I know that it can be for a 5-day, full day session that we need to understand in detail. But I think it is a sort of and paucity of time. Sorry that you cannot cover the full part. But I think we will be in touch with him. He will be available, I think, for every professional chartered accountant for us.
Longer
So,
than-
of course, we on behalf of WRC giving a hearty vote of thanks to him, and he will be there for us for few minutes, whatever we can have a direct access. So for the August, we will not have a third Saturday because third Saturday is a 15th August and 16th August is a Janmashtami. So we'll have a fourth Saturday as a meeting, and we accordingly will arrange the speakers for the fourth Saturday. And then immediately on 27th there is a Ganpati, so we have enough day cushion of that because Ganpati is on Wednesday, and we have a meeting of a fourth Saturday. It is on that is 23rd. So we have a 4 days cushion. So we'll do a meeting on a fourth Saturday of August, and it will not be on. So I'll put it on the group also that it will be a fourth Saturday. So I think it's a wonderful session. I think हम 2 घंटा भी बहुत कम पड़ रहा है, तो I request all of them, you in your group also, there is a 1 day also, there is now registration is available, so you can amongst your group also you can ask them so that more and more speaker can come of this kind of interaction can happen, which we have seen today, and how these 2 hours has gone. We don't know, it has gone so smoothly, and I think we still want to know more. So that is the kind of situation that has happened among the around 15 or 18 people of us.
It's the first time.
So
it's happened
this
in
is
last
the-
1.5 years. So many
Yeah,
people
so-
have stayed till 7:30.
So I think it is a wonderful session, and thank you very much on behalf of everyone. Thank you.
Enjoy talking with you all. हाँ बोलिए.
गोल पे व्यू नहीं दिया।
Offline अभी जो भी चाहिए ले।
नहीं मैं यहाँ पे लोग